Hello and welcome to Dash 28 Live. I'm your host, Mike Adkins, and today we're going to be bringing you the first match in the historic International Club Challenge between Elliot Morrish and Jeremy Duvall. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Thanks for agreeing to come and play with us here. Also, I've got Thomas. I've got the other Nick Williams, also known as John Quayle, and of course Tom Robinson here to, I think, mostly heckle Elliot as opposed to cheer him on. But we will see how that goes. So for folks who are just tuning in to check this out, we are doing a club challenge between the Northern Kings and the Tabletop Titans. So that's why we have Elliot representing the Northern Kings and Jeremy representing the Tabletop Titans here today. They're going to be playing a 2,300-point game of Dominate, which we are going to check out here in just a minute. But first, let's bring up the lists that they're playing so everybody can see what we're looking at. Let's bring up Jeremy's list first, and let me scroll up to the top. All right, Jeremy, you're playing Basileans. Can you walk us through your list, please?
Yeah, so, and I know Elliot will probably speak to this too, but one of the things I wanted to do for this challenge was to bring my actual army. So this is the army that I've been playing with most of this year, and what I intend to, once lockdown's over next year as we go into 2021, this is going to be my main tournament army, I think. So I have a horde of men-at-arms spear with the healing brew. They can't take the Aegis fragment, so essentially it's like an Aegis fragment, but can be slightly better. 2 troops of Gur Panthers, 1 with the Scrying Gem. 2 regiments of knights, both with Aegis fragment. 1 has sharpness, 1 has caterpillar. 2 ogre palace guards with the mandatory dwarven ale and chalice of wrath for a little waiver mitigation. And then I have 2 war wizards. I really love these guys. 1 has the boomstick replacing fireball with lightning bolt. So that's lightning bolt 7. The other one has conjurer staff with bane chant and also the replacing fireball with lightning bolt. I got the high paladin on a dragon with Aegis fragment and life leech. Nias Solistis, great piece, and then Samacris, Mother of Phoenix, just another great utility piece. And that's the list.
Awesome. And now we're going to pop over and talk through Elliot's Twilight Can.
Yeah, so this is currently set on my painting table. I think I've got 1 unit done so far, but it is going to be the army I actually run in real life. So I have 2 hordes of Kindred Tall Spears, 1 with the Brewer Strength and 1 with Chant of Hate. So who needs Palace Guard hordes when you can have just as punchy Spearman hordes? 2 Gargoyle Troops, 2 regiments of Whistle Horsemen, Chromatic Whistle Horsemen, 1 with the Brewer Sharpness and 1 with Blessing of the Gods for lots and lots of punch. A troop of Silver Breeze Cavalry, a Bolt Thrower, 2 Mind Screechers, because why not when you can hit 2. An Assassin with Inspiring Talisman, a Soulbane with Duelist and Scream Shard on a horse, and an Armor Standard Bearer with the obligatory Loot of Insatiable Darkness for Benjamin.
All right. There we go. Okay. Thanks, guys. So now let's pop over and check out your Universal Battle Room. All right, so here we go. So you guys are playing Dominate, and I see that you've marked the central point objective there. Could you slide your turn counter down just a little bit so it's not underneath our turn counter logo so we can see it?
Yes.
Get a sec? Sure. So this is, you guys are playing on one of the, I assigned you one of the Vanguard GT maps, I think? Cool. And so the interesting thing to note here is that the fields are not flat. They are height 1, and there are 2 of them. Because I always thought it was silly to have a lake and a field and have them both be flat. Like, what the hell's the point? If they're supposed to be both flat, use two lakes. Use 2 fields, whatever. Anyway, so it looks like Jeremy deployed on the top side, and Elliot deployed along the bottom. Who got to pick sides?
I did.
You did? Okay.
So
I
picked bottom.
You picked bottom, and one of you, was it Jeremy that had the scrying gem?
I did.
Yes.
Yeah. Did that come in handy at all?
I think not as much in this one because Elliot has sort of like his drops that he puts down in the beginning, no matter what. But still nice to at least get some of those since he does outdrop me so much. I mean, did that affect your deployment at all, Elliot? Me having the scrying gem, really?
It did mean that your dragon got to go down last, whereas before I was outdropping you. But it did mean that I had to sort of assume where your dragon was going to go. I mean, I guessed right in the end. But
okay,
yeah,
cool. Yeah, not an item that at least I see all that often. So I was kind of curious how that worked out. So let's go through your deployments real quick. Let's start with Jeremy's up top here, starting over on the left with your paladin.
Sure. So with that big building, I kind of had to, in many ways, like pick a side. You know what I mean? Like, where am I going to deploy on which side of that building? So I decided to go heavy left as you guys are looking. So I have my 2 units of knights. I have the sharpness ones on the far left, and then I have the pathfinder ones right next to them. And then behind them, I have Nias, just kind of oversee direct traffic for the knights. And then I have following along, I have my ogre horde with fury, and then with headstrong. And then I have the Gur Panthers behind them, just to provide some support for the ogres. Samacris is kind of chilling there behind the building, sort of ready to go either way. You know what I mean? Depending on where she needs to go to provide support, she can kind of hop over that building. And then I have my spearmen sort of anchoring that part of my line with healing brew. And then on the far right, I put my wizards. Just to kind of help support, as we were deploying, Elliot began to deploy more and more on the opposite board edge. So I wanted to put some stuff to sort of deal with maybe some of his threats on that side. And then I have on the far end, the dragon slightly off center to give me some move at the double options.
All right, great.
For better or worse, that's what we're working with today. So,
all right. Cool. And then Elliot, can you walk us through your deployment starting over here on your left?
Yeah, so I've got a troop of gargoyles far left, the horsemen with elites, I think, but on a sharpness. I kind of see them interchangeably. They're pretty much the same. The bolt thrower with just so many targets and not enough time to get them all. The flying crone is just behind the horde of spears with the sander bearer. Then the mine screech, another troop of gargoyles, second mine screech, the second horde spearmen, the horsemen sort of looking toward the centre of the board. They might be spinning around because there's a dragon coming. Troop of Silver Breeze and the Soulbane hiding behind there. And just hiding in the forest in the middle of the board is an assassin who was scouted up and is really, really hoping for turn 1.
All right.
Because why not take an assassin if you can't throw him away in a suicidal turn 1 charge? Or you don't get turn 1 and it all goes horribly wrong and he gets fried by lightning bolts.
All right, great. Okay, so you guys are going to be playing Dominate, and you're about to roll for first turn and get started. So awesome. Thanks for walking us through your deployments. I am going to have your clock up on the screen here for people to see after you leave, so don't forget to switch them off and on.
Sure.
And if you need anything, just ping me on Messenger. Otherwise, if you could just give us some high-level status updates in the in-game chat there so we can see them and use the 3-inch markers to indicate what you're rolling dice for.
Sure.
That'd be great. So we can follow along. And otherwise, good luck to both of you. And we will see you back here after you're done.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you. See you later.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
All right. All right. So let's talk about how they've deployed here, given that they're playing Dominate and given the way the terrain looks. Jeremy said he basically had to pick one side or the other of that building to go on, and he's gone heavy to the left side there. Do we think he picked the right side, or does everybody feel like they would have deployed on the other side?
Do we have to vote here? Is that when
Yeah, sure.
I mean, hands
for
up.
me, with Jeremy's army, I'm pretty sure I would have deployed almost exactly opposite. I would have put the cav and the ogres on the other side in the gap between the building and the pond, and put the dragon over behind the hill where it could see over the hill.
I'd have to agree with you there. Yeah.
Yeah, I missed the trading drops bit, so I didn't know what, because you can, as you're going along, you can change your mind and go, right, I'm going to go with this plan, which is quite often what I'll do. I'll have a general plan for where units going to go, but like you've got space to move things if you need to, if you run something off the wall. And this is pretty off the wall. Dominating, putting everything on one flank is unusual. It's not a bad option because he's completely got that left flank nailed down, I think. And Elliot's got one unit using the wood, like you tow into the wood to look through it to hold stuff back. But even there with the hindered charge, that horseman regiment is not going to break anything, so you can just push it forward with nigh impunity, really. So, and if you've got the late game ability to be able to push into the centre, the Ogre Palace Guard pushing between both of them will take out Spearman Horde in one go fairly semi-reliably. So it's not a terrible option. I would have liked to have gone in the middle because everything's getting slowed down by that wall as well. I think that the building's massive, but that wall is equally massive for taking another turn out of those Palace Guard moving.
Yeah, because they're going to be they're going to move up to the wall, and then they've got another move over the wall, and then they can start in play right up until that point. Because the other thing as well is they move over the wall and they put themselves in a position where the horsemen are going to be able to charge them. Because if you look at where the horsemen are positioned at the moment, they could position themselves to see that wall without being in the wood.
Yeah.
And with the spearmen pushing forward as well, all of a sudden those Palace Guard are going, I don't really want to be involved in this anymore. They're just going to turn around and go, I'll just stay back. And if he could just hold them back with just one unit of horsemen, you're talking 4 of his biggest hitters there, just looking down the flank.
Yeah, and the hill on the Elliot side is also helping him getting a potential to just charge into whatever he likes.
Yeah.
So that's another danger of picking that side.
Yeah, to counterpoint that, I don't like how Elliot's put the horseman and the spearman so far on the right for no real reason.
Yeah.
I don't know when he dropped them. It might have been a fairly early drop, but I feel like you could have just taken the hit and put the spearman in the field.
Yeah.
I think the way it worked is that the spearman went down in the middle to start off with I think at least the standard bearer and one of the mine screechers, and then Jeremy started putting everything over on his right-hand side or over on the left. I think the spearmen, where they are now, were put fairly late on. I mean, the idea, I assume, is so that they can run at the double down that flank, but there's a dragon at the moment staring them down, isn't it?
Yeah.
And where he's got his other unit of horsemen just to the right of them, there's kind of no way for the horsemen to get around without tripping over that wall to get to anything that would threaten, the spears.
Yeah, if he has to turn them at the moment. And then as a dragon's always got the opportunity to use the blocking terrain to get around. I do like the assassin. The assassin's in a good place. Those wizards are going to be really crapping in their pants at this point in time.
If Elliot got turn 1, then there would have been, but...
I think Elliot does still have 2 pretty fast duelist characters over there on the same side as Jeremy's wizards. So
yeah, it's just that assassin's not going to do anything for a turn. It's going to walk forward and probably need a lightning bolt it off, because that's a lot of lightning bolt looking at him. I don't know, he might be all right, but it's one of them ones where the tool used to kill the wizards is also very, very vulnerable to those wizards.
Sure. And I guess that is why he has the Inspiring Talisman, so that you can throw him out there by himself and maybe he'll live through getting shot with lightning the first time.
Yeah. No, it's a really cool play is that you throwing your duelist scout character up turn 1 and just saying, right, if I get turn 1, you have to take turn 1, otherwise I'm charging you. Just to force a hand. If you can use a turn 2, just having that to just cause another issue is great. I do it a lot with I quite liked it in the past using when you could do allies and stuff, taking volley guns and having a scouting combat individual and going, right, there you go. Do you want turn 2? Do you want turn 1? If you give me turn 1, I'm charging with the individual. If you give me turn 2, great, you're going to move into the volley guns range and then get a turn shooting. It's fine. Like a catch-22, it's always good to have a catch-22 option for him.
Yep. So it looks like Jeremy is moving up very aggressively on the left side where he put all his hammer units, but managing to stay just out of range of those gargoyles because he doesn't want his cavalry getting chaffed up. They're in a really strong position on the hill there. They'll get the extra thunderous, but like they don't really have any charge targets, and they're going to have to go through a forest to get to anything.
And they'll lose their thunderous, a bonus that they have straight away.
Right.
And I sort of know these are ones actually they've got caterpillar, haven't they? They've got caterpillar and
One of them, one's got sharpness, and the other's got caterpillar.
Yeah.
So one of them will keep it.
I think Elliot's realistically just going to use that as a line of sight blocker, forcing them to stay over that side of the wood, and then he's going to try and swing up himself and try and hold the middle.
Yep. I mean, from how they've deployed, that's his best option.
Yeah. And just hope some of that potential shooting can take a unit off before things go down.
Mm-hmm.
He can kind of afford to wait because he has the shooting advantage.
So tell me, like, what the hell's the deal with taking one bolt thrower? Is that just like his pet unit that he takes for the hell of it?
He seems to swear by it. I don't get it.
What?
I think when it teams up with the Mind Screeches, you can just push a unit over, but you have to be using the Mind Screeches to basically add those additional units. At this point in time, where he's put it, it means he's only really got one target. That we'll see.
Yeah, I used to take one when I first started playing. I used to take one because I built like a artillery piece bolt thrower, so it was like a chariot with a bolt thrower on the back. And the idea is obviously like, when else use a chariot? Well, they put a bolt thrower on the back and use it as like emplacement, so they can move it quickly. That sounds interesting and fun, which is why I could justify having elves in a wood elf, like a bolt thrower in a wood elf army. But also it was crap, and I had 90 points left and nothing else to do with it until I built a Dragon's Breath. Then I used that the entire time. The only reason I had it. Cool model, not right. I don't know. It can annoy those ogres. If you can, with this army, because he has one source heal, and it's a very good source heal, because Thancred is bent. If you can force them to split that heal, rather than just dumping it on one unit, then, hey, you've won, some of that damage is going to stick around, because if they roll 4 or 5 damage, and you concentrate it, it'll just take it all back off. So putting 2 here and 2 there is a good way of making sure something sticks.
That's true. Especially if you can get a few to stick on the spearmen early doors, because some has gone the other way around the building.
Yeah, and the lack of iron resolve really hurts them, because Basilia are quite resistant to ship shooting with all the iron resolve and the radiance. So that'd be a solid option.
I've realised I didn't realise up until now that this is the Historic International Club Challenge, which is an acronym for thick, isn't it?
It is.
Who came up with that one?
Britain did that. I was just calling it the Club Challenge, and then when he wrote the article announcing it, I noticed he called it that, and I was like, why is he going for such a long title? And I was like, oh no, I see what he did there. Okay.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't realize. I didn't realize at all. I've only just found out now.
There you go.
This is super
this many
aggressive
days
with a
old.
dragon. Super aggressive with a dragon. Look at this.
Yeah, I mean he's got the Gur Panthers over there for chaff. There's really nothing looking at him except some gargoyles and a character that isn't going to be able to squeeze around to hit the dragon this turn.
Yeah, he's using that to buy time and get everything to turn and face, because none of them can really afford the dragon in the flank. So he wants to stop everything on the right flank from moving forward quickly.
Yeah.
Good move. Yeah, I mean that's why he needed turn 1. That's more important actually than the duelist getting in.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because you don't want to give the gargoyles a chance to fly over there, because like you really want to be able to concentrate your lightning bolts on getting rid of the assassin. You don't want to have to worry about shooting down gargoyles before they can pin down your dragon too, right? Like you want one good clear target on Elliot's side.
Likewise, having the assassin there means that he can't really jump over without having the assassin jump on him. So it's an easy place to be, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you can't
Tried.
Make certain sure. Yep. Yeah, no, that would be a pretty colossal mistake in turn 1 if you accidentally move your dragon up and leave it chargeable by the individual on a horse. You would just love to ground your dragon. All right, so here comes
the
lightning.
Soulbane over there? Is that the Soulbane on the right?
I think so.
Yeah.
The duelist Soulbane. So that's 2 duelist characters in the list.
Ooh.
Holy hell. That's going to be 4 wounds, right? No?
Ice defense 4.
3.
Is defense 4?
Yeah. That's only 1 hit.
2 hits.
2. Yep. 1 damage.
It's a 9 on the roll, isn't it? So it's not too bad.
No.
Easy to get wavered here, though. That's the other thing. But I suppose then you can hide behind the woods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd moonwalk out of there, wouldn't you?
Yeah. And a 4.
Oh, look at that.
That's pretty big. So
I
no
don't know
waiver
how
on the
happy I
assassin.
thought about that.
The problem
On the
is
one
he's
hand,
going
I
to be
want it to
wavered
die,
next
it's a
time.
pain in the ass.
So
On the other hand, he's supposed to be.
So you're saying, Thomas? What you're saying, Thomas?
I was saying he's going to be wavered next time. So it's not like he's going to be able to run after the wizards now.
Yeah. Spot a turn, though, I guess. You can just back off and start shooting the spearman, I guess. And
That's my thought as well, and still be in a position to possibly threaten the dragon if he comes around, maybe, because you don't want to give the dragon the avenue to maybe do that. But
likewise, you don't want the dragon to jump over and then shoot you.
has he got a breath attack? I don't think he's got a breath attack.
Yeah.
Has he?
It is the best dragon in the game. It gets everything.
It really is.
And it's cheap.
Yeah.
It's at the same points as the elf dragon, only better in nearly every single way.
It's like Thomas is getting a shout out in the chat.
Yeah, go Silver Breeze. No, do it. Charge, John, do it.
Oh, those are silver breeze. I thought those were gargoyles. No. Never mind.
So you've been hunted down by Fred, are you, Tom?
Yeah.
I take back everything I said about his dragon getting chaffed up by gargoyles. No. All right. So Jeremy's turn 1. He moved up very aggressively on his left side, kind of the way we expected him to. He moved those ogres up to basically camp on the wall and just took up a threatening position on the hill with his cav. He moved his dragon up very aggressively, screened by some Gur Panthers, and he failed to waver an assassin. So if you're Elliot, and this is now your first turn, and you're looking at this, like, what's your number 1 priority here? What do you need to get done in turn 1 to set yourself up for a good rest of the game?
I'd be looking to ensure that Jeremy can't then push forward to the objective early. I like now that he's made me wait on the right hand side. I like to make him do the same. So you want to start asking questions and make sure you can't push out too far. So maybe moving the left side horseman up and to the right to cover the palace guard, moving your spearman horde up fully, making sure use that 12 inch. You've got advantage over the other spearman to be in range of his guys as well. Just ensure that he then can't be as aggressive as he's tried to be on the either flank. That's about it.
It looks like he sent his Soulbane on horse into the Gur Panthers over on the right side. Very aggressive.
It's a good idea, though, because the Gur Panthers can't really turn around and walk away, which means also the dragon can't join in with the Gur Panthers at the same time because of what fit, probably. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, I'll see as a Soulbane. 5 attacks, hitting on 3s.
Crush 1.
With crushing
Elite.
1. And delete because it's an elf, of course.
And dreads.
And dread.
Yeah, dread, yeah. It's good, really good as a Soulbane.
That is really good. Gur Panthers, of course, only 9/11 with a defensive 3, so he'll easily put some wounds on it, but whether he can do enough to get rid of it altogether, I guess it depends on just how many hits he gets, right?
Yeah.
If he gets 1s instead of 2s.
Like to put the Silver Breeze in as well.
Yeah, because otherwise, what are the Silver Breeze doing this turn? Just going to shoot the dragon?
Dragon, I guess.
It'll just Iron Resolve back one of the 2 you put on it. What's the point?
It's got life leech on it.
Yeah.
All right, there's no point then. You won't do more than 2 damage anyway, really.
Yeah.
Oh no, you can turn a Mind Screech. I'd probably put both Mind Screeches and the Assassin into the Spearman at this point.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. start putting wounds on them since they're kind of over there, unsupported by anything else, isolated.
Yeah, they've got lower defense. They haven't got any resolve.
Yep. And the Mind Screeches are tall enough to not have to worry about that field providing any cover.
Yeah. And also using your drain life on the when the spearmen are really hurt, using your drain life to finish them off acts as a heal and a damage to finish it, because obviously you can really capitalize on the defense 4 there to push an extra 1 or 2 heal through.
Yeah, I kind of like a lot of the synergies in the Twilight Kin list.
It's nifty. I think Twilight Kin were a lot maligned at the start, but I think people have come to see him as an overall package now that people know the army better.
Yeah. I mean, my first army back when I started playing Warhammer was Dark Elves, so I always have kind of a soft spot for them.
I've always hated them.
Yeah, like no one is lukewarm on them. You either played them or hated them. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my first fantasy armies was Dark Elves. I did like we were talking about the old witch elves, weren't we? Scantily clad women running around with 2 swords.
Yep.
Who can
Massive
blame,
heavy metal hair dues and everything.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah. I think I actually painted mine as nurses. I can't remember why. we got to also clear up at some point as well. This is not UK versus America. This is just one club versus another club. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
One northern club from England and some people from Texas as well. Is that right?
Well, one person from Texas.
Yeah, I'm told that the Tabletop Titans, right? Like Tabletop Titans started as a Texas club, but since we like to travel a lot over here, I think they just took club T-shirts with them to every tournament they went to, and would just hand a few of them out every time. So now they've got people in California and people in England, people in Illinois or wherever.
That sounds like desperation to me. I mean, you'll take anybody, won't you? Now.
It's a growth-oriented tournament attendance strategy, I think.
Isn't that how the Borg started out? Right? Yeah, we'll just take anybody. It'll be fine.
The Borg started out with T-shirts?
I think so.
Yeah.
Just going around to various people's houses, all got together at the end.
Sorry.
Worked out for them, kind of.
Resistance is futile. Is that a large or an extra large?
See, the Dragon's doing his job at the moment, isn't he? He's just stopping that entire right flank from coming up, and can easily just turn around and go, nope.
Yeah, that's a good, half of his unit strength now looking the wrong direction?
Mm.
They're forgetting what scenario they're playing, haven't they? They really have. They just go, no, don't need to be in the middle. No, it'll be fine over here.
Armies are fast enough. Turn 5. Just worry about it in turn 5. You don't have to worry about it till then. We're all fast here. Elves and guys on horses. No big deal.
If Elliot is successful in delaying on the left flank, he might be able to deal with the dragon. But again, Jeremy has so many units there, so he can just afford to throw one away.
It is a big unit to throw away, though. I don't think he's going to necessarily just throw it in. I think he may just back it off and just continually force the spears and the horses to acknowledge him. Although those Ghost Panthers are just going to die to the Soulbane, are they? I mean, 9/11 nerve. Got a good chance of going down, haven't they?
Probably waver.
Probably is.
5 on 3s with Elite plus Dread.
Well, he has got Dread as well. That's a good point.
Yeah, so he might do
4 damage, 7 twice, probably a waver.
Yeah.
3 plus 1.
So I think given that this is a club challenge, we're doing 4 games this weekend, and the first thing to decide which club wins or loses is just a straight win, loss, draw count. Then we get into bonus points and attrition points after that if it turns out 2-2, or I guess 1-1 and 2, whatever. If it comes out even, then we go to that sort of stuff. Do you feel like these guys going first? Do you feel like you play for just the scenario win and worry about let the next 3 games worry about the tiebreakers, or do you try to get out to like a big lead on all fronts here?
I think usually for team events, people go back and forth. I think you should play the game that's in front of you. Like, don't worry about what everybody else has to do. Worry about what you have to do first. If you start second guessing yourself or changing your mind, That's probably do more damage to your plan than just going for it.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, you look at our like professional teams, don't you? The ones who work the best, are the ones who ignore the fact that there's a conceived pressure, you know, to do a certain way. Win the game, and then see where you get.
Right.
Oh, Elliot's pushed forward with the assassin. He's determined.
Well, he's got is his leader point outside of the wood? So is he going to get like unhindered shooting?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a shame about like
But he misses. Is he rolling
No, no,
D3s?
do it.
Oh no!
Do it.
Was he 3s to hit? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, individual.
Yeah, he's shooting at individuals. Yeah.
Which is even more annoying because every time that thing shot at me, it did 2 damage every turn, no matter what it was shooting at.
He still seemed to have hit twice. Or is that something else? Oh no, he's doing something else.
Yeah, he's doing the screeches into the spears like we suspected he would. A couple wounds
It
with the
should
first
be
one.
damage from the shooting, shouldn't it? With piercing 1 on defense 4.
Yeah, that's about right, really. 4 to 5. I'm just wondering why the Summoner Crone with the wings and the Drain Life 9 isn't further forward and being aggressive.
Yeah, I would have placed her behind the building, perhaps.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think he forgot about her.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Because turn 2, that's Drain Life in the Spearman even more.
Yeah.
And then that's healing
Yeah.
your assassin.
Well, it's super fragile against lightning bolts, though. So
Yeah. Well, it's behind the wood, you can't complain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can keep it behind the wood, but so that the spears can't see her to charge her, then you're good. Oh, but I guess those are just human spears, so you can stay out of their 10 pretty easy.
Yeah, you can see these the elf spearmen now in range and the human spearmen are out. Yeah, elves. Yeah.
Hey, it's rolling lots of dice. What are you doing?
This is going to be the Soulbane attacking the Gur Panthers, so that's going to be 2 elite rolls for a 2 and a 3, and that's only going to be 3 hits. It looks like, and
Yeah.
3 wounds. 3 wounds plus dread's only going to be 4.
It's a 7.
Yep. There's a 7 once. Needs it twice for the dragon though. Or was that only a waiver?
Are they 9/11? Has he forgotten the dread?
Yeah, I think they may have forgotten dread. Pretty sure Gur Panthers are 9/11.
As we can tell, this is a elite versus elite club game.
So it's looking like Elliot has immediately forgotten about Dread and his Summoner Crone, which is, as he has said in the past on the Twilight King review on Countercharge, go listen to it, is one of the most important things in the army. He's forgot about it, probably.
Yeah.
It's a late game strategy. I don't know what you're talking about, Tom. We're not supposed to be belittling our own teammate, surely? Right?
No, I'd never do such a thing. There we go. He's remembered.
And he does pick it up on a 12. Wow.
Ooh.
All right, so there goes the dragon screen.
So who's betting on in about 60 seconds you realise he hasn't moved the Summoner Crone? This is the awkward part of the team.
Yeah, it's quite nice to see though as well. If you look at the right flank, the spearmen are overlooking the horsemen. I don't know if they're actually covering it, but they certainly look like they're covering the horsemen. The horsemen are covering the Silver Breeze. So everything's covering each other at least.
You check, Mike, to see. Yeah. Oh, don't know. Don't know if the spearmen are covering.
Well, they might not be, in which case Alex an idiot.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I don't think they can quite see.
I love it.
And you lose. I think you don't lose anything really by just turning a little bit more.
The horsemen are covering the Silver Breeze, but
They are. Yeah.
But why are the Silver Breeze in range?
But the spearman might be a trap. He's not going to blow past them in 1 or 2 turns with the dragon.
Yeah, if he charges the spearman, it's the wrong way to go. It is the wrong way to go. Yeah. Sorry, Thomas. I'm just.
It's fine. So yeah, I think if he's charged the spears with the dragon, he's going to get stuck there, and the horseman will have time to move up and flank him before he gets away.
Yeah, but if he charges the horseman, he could easily get lucky. Because are they 14-16 on the horseman? And with the
Yeah.
dragon, there's no inspiring there either, is there?
No.
No, the soul bane ran away, and he's inspiring, but not very inspiring. I think the only reason the Silver Breeze are in range is because he wanted to shoot with their 18-inch bows, but then didn't do any wounds, or only did one, and he Iron resolved it off. So
it's also, I think, why they're in range is because it's a bit of a bait. If that dragon goes in, does 5 damage, it's going to need an 8 to kill them because they're 11-13. They've actually got quite good nerve on them.
That's not
and
bad.
it's not worth taking a flank from Chrome-bound horsemen because they will mince it. Like, that dragon is hard as nails at -19 for some reason.
He is really. I mean,
Not that hard.
it's almost as good as like a Revenant King on Undead Worm, but almost.
It's nearly as hard as the much cheaper 50-point cheaper Revenant King on Undead. You're absolutely right, John.
Not pointing out for any reason whatsoever, but is this one of these calls where you look at it and go, well, the dragon could charge 3 units, or he could just back off. But if he goes in for like the horseman, he's got a chance of killing a unit right off the bat that would be really, really detrimental to his plans, but also put him in a really good stead to. I mean, he'd take a flank from a Silver Breeze unit to look down the flank and look at some Mind Screeches, look at the spearmen, etc. So, is it one of those ones where you risk it, or is it one of those ones where you play conservative? I don't know.
But he might get stuck there as well if he blows through the horseman and he gets charged by a Silver Breeze and Soulbane. He cannot back off.
He will get triple charged in that respect. Would he take that? Defense 5. I mean, Silver Breeze haven't got any Thunderous, have they?
Nah. Melee 4.
So they're hitting on 4s, winning on 5s.
Yeah, 2 to 3.
2 to 3, plus maybe an extra 4 or 5 from the front, and then Soulbane maybe an extra 3 or 4. He's still not going to kill him in one turn. And he's going to put the good regen roll from the horseman, maybe. Yeah, sorry.
He will be stuck, so he can just turn the spearman and charge the next turn. Because it's engaged 2 targets, he cannot. Or wait, it's just a pre-withdraw, I guess. So
is it worth them bottling them up? I guess at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's a risk. I'm not, it's one of those ones where you always ask the question: is it worth it? I could have a good chance of taking them out, but if I flub it, then I'm going to be in a not perfect position, but not a terrible position at this stage. There we go. Look, the Palace Guard have run right over the top of that barricade, so they don't care about that. It'd be interesting if he does the same thing as Elliot and doesn't cover the Palace Guard with the spearmen. The spearmen covering the Palace Guard.
Popping Healing Brew on his spears, gets 2 of those 3 off.
Because he's got a Drain Life. No, he doesn't have that because he's putting them at the back. He's got a Bane Chant on the spearman, hasn't he?
Is there a play on the right where you don't charge anything with the dragon this turn and just get him behind things or in the flank of something and then wait?
That's the alternative, I think.
Yeah. I think you're going to struggle with the assassin there. You can't really bank on the shooting doing the assassinating because he got lucky to do 4 damage.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be nowhere near that much. It should have been like 2. So you don't want to then have it swing the other way where you do 1 damage or none, and then the assassin pins down your dragon, and then the dragon gets mobbed.
The next level, they would have been slightly closer to the tower so that he can at least hop over the tower. But at the moment, he can't do that and still face the spearman because the spearman is going to threaten him if he tries to go to the other side of the tower at this point in time.
And I guess the Soulbane is speed 9 on that horse, so that gives him an 18-inch charge range. So it's going to be hard to get away from him without just getting grounded next turn too.
The dragon is on a real fat base now.
Yeah,
fat base.
Fat base.
Is it a thick base or fat base? Okay.
he could back the dragon up and just try to lightning bolt and breath on the Soulbane, try to get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the nerve of the Soulbane? Is he
13, 15.
13, 15.
oh, okay? And he's 13, 15 is not going to be too bad at defense 5 because lightning bolts obviously you're going to be on 4s, aren't you? And 5s with the breath attack.
Breath now 5s, and it's is it a fireball or is it a breath attack? Breath weapon.
It just says Dragon's Breath, 12-inch steady aim.
Yeah, of course. You take the individual as well.
So he's going to be 4 or 5 wounds, maybe, isn't he? So
It's not really worth it.
Yeah, no.
Right, you're looking for certainties, really, aren't you?
yes, yeah. I'd be interested to see if Elliot uses Wind Blast as well with the Mind Screeches.
Late game, it can be absolutely amazing, especially since Jeremy's gone first. Just to be like, well, I know if I roll a 1, you're out, so I don't have to worry about it.
That's what I'm thinking. You're just in the right place, right time, just to even push somebody out of the arc as well. Looking where the Mind Screeches are, well, maybe not in the flank of the Ogre Palace Guard yet, but it would be tempting.
Interesting note as well that Gargoyle Troop in the middle is in perfect position to chaff both hordes of Palace Guard.
Yeah, that's it.
It's 2 for 1, is that? That's some good value chaff.
Yeah.
And imagine the double 1.
He could push one Ogre Horde into the obstacle to make them hindered as well.
Yeah, you got a good point there, Thomas. Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah, with Wind Blast, yeah.
What's that? I mean, if you click on the unit, if he only needs 1 inch, then that is a good little play, isn't it? Yeah, it's only going to take 1, isn't it?
And then you can start bringing around the second Gargoyle Troops to do the exact same and buy yourself another turn. You at that point, looking at turn 4 before either of those Palace Guard hordes or indeed looks like the Regiment of Knights can do anything.
So you're thinking maybe take on the Spearman horde in the middle and try and...
Yeah, because that's a lot of unit strength. And getting it out of the way then means that you've essentially only got one direction of fighting now, which is where Elliot can then anchor his flank and get to the drain life and then make use of his better nerve.
Actually, you got a point. If you could hit that Spearman unit and spin it...
He's only fighting one horde at a time with his Spearmen who've got the drain life to back him up.
If only you'd moved a Summoner Crone forward so that he'd be in range to drain... Anyway.
Yeah, that would have been really useful to that. Yeah.
Been super useful. Where's the other Summoner Crone then? So he's got 2, hasn't he? Where's the other one?
He's only got 1 now, I think.
He's just the one. He's got this one with wings, and he's got a BSB with the loot.
Yeah.
Are you sure? I thought in his list he had 2.
No, he dropped it for the assassin.
One way to check this.
He's got 2 Cronebound Mind Screeches, but only 1 Summoner Crone.
Ah, right, okay. Interesting. Oh, so this is the Drain Life 9 one as well, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the Spearmen carrying in the middle as well in terms of artifact? They carrying...
They've got Vicious.
Yeah, because what they'd be on, is it Defense 4 for the Spearmen?
Yeah, they got Bane Chant as well.
Yeah, behind him.
So elite with Vicious, 4s and 3s, 30 attacks. But they are 21, 23 nerve, so it is going to be asking a lot in 1 turn, but they could do it in 2.
You're looking at 10 to 11 damage, which is quite good. If you had the Drain Life to stack on top of it, you're looking at 3 more damage. Put him on 14, probably a waiver.
Yeah, but some of the Crone's doing something else. You've got a grand plan for that, obviously, maybe somewhere. Yeah, I mean, if the assassin survives, is it worth putting the assassin in, or you continue to threaten the wizards?
Well, if he moves the wizards back again to stay out of the assassin's range, then...
Well, the assassin can't charge because his leader point is outside the wood, can't he? So he can't spin, put himself inside the wood with the leader point, and then be able to charge. So he can't.
I don't know, he's already majority in the wood. I thought it was only if you're outside the wood and turned your leader point to be in the wood, but because you're already in the wood, it won't count.
I don't know if it's a viewpoint thing, but maybe you're right. I don't know.
It's individual. They do what they want.
We could ask.
Make it go along.
They go along. Yeah.
We could ask someone on the rules committee. Oh wait,
You can just see a new FAQ coming around in about 15 minutes, can't you?
Right,
Just
right.
like,
right? A hastily written Facebook note saying.
Elliot does what he wants. Yes, they've backed off on those warriors, which is all right because it keeps them even further out of range of annoying the gargoyles and the standard bearers and all the important stuff.
Exactly.
It's not bad.
Yeah, like even if the assassin hasn't gotten into the wizards yet, he's kept them out of the game. So
it is extra damage that he would be causing on the spearmen. Good point by Fred, actually. Clockwise, how do you think they're managing the clock? Because that is one thing that I'm not looking forward to in my game, is actually understanding UB while on time pressure. So they're...
So I think they're doing fine. They started with 70-minute clocks, and I don't know about you guys, but in my experience, I tend to burn like half of my clock by the end of turn 2, and then everything gets really fast for the rest of the game. So I think they're about right.
Yeah, you spend a lot of time on finicky movement with the amount of units you've got, but at the end of the game, things are going into each other. You're not mucking about with, oh, where does it need to be for this particular angle, because you're fighting. So
yep.
Yeah. So it's what 24 minutes in for Jeremy and 12 minutes used. Right? It'll be interesting, obviously, see how Elliot uses his clock for the second time. There you go. Look, dragon's bypassed.
Mm-hmm.
It's chargeable by both the Soulbane and the Assassin, though.
Is the Soulbane in range?
He's got 18 inches, so it should.
Yeah, it will be.
No. Well, 15, 18, yeah.
Yeah, easy.
Even before he pivots and gets an extra half an inch, he's still already in.
Yeah, but that's not going to stop him still charging forward, is he? So he's covering the spearman.
You could put a Mind Screech in front. The Mind Screech probably won't die.
Or he could turn his gargoyles and just fly it in front of the dragon. Can't charge.
I'd take the 2-for-1 deal on the Palace Guard.
That's true.
I would spend my money.
Could you do that with the other unit of gargoyles instead, though? Or do they not have the range?
It'd be a right angle, so it won't work. Well, not really. You completely want moving rather than get in the way.
Yeah.
But even then, yeah, you're right. It's going to be tough for him to take the spearman on, I think, from this position. Is that where he maybe looks at consolidating? And as you say, use the gargoyles to chaff up, and then now the dragon's slightly committed because you can get the Soulbane into him. You can then turn everything else around to face rather than risking the spearman. Because I think at the moment, the spearmen going in are going to they're going to take it out one way or the other.
I think he had to do something with the dragon, and I think it's probably the right move, but he's not. It's still not safe. I mean, those Silver Breeze can still charge him, and I don't think he's seen that he's in the flank. The Silver Breeze are in his flank either.
Well, they're only 18. Are they only 18 or are they moving 10?
Be 10.
And
there you
go. And that would put the Silver Breeze close enough for the standard bearer to Bane chant them.
Yeah. Because what would have happened there, if he'd left it there, is that Mind Screech jumped in front because it's got all the move in the world, it's got Pathfinder for some reason.
It floats. Come on.
Silver Breeze in the flank. Soulbane goes in the rear. You put 4 or 5 damage on the dragon. Then you go into the spearman. The gargoyles chaff both horse. You've got 2 turns then to kill the spearman and the dragon, which you will do when everything else turns up. When the drain life gets in there. One of them's going to be dead at the very least, and then by that point you've used the dragon as a piece to charge over forward as well. Whereas normally you just be moving 8. No, but I think he's trying to find an angle now where he doesn't get Silver Breeze, and I don't think he's going to find it because Elliot's done quite well with them.
Yeah, I think you're right because you can't guarantee on killing a Silver Breeze unit, can you? And you don't want to risk a dragon to kill a Silver Breeze unit, do you? You just
that and the assassin can join in as well, then just add a bit more fuel to the fire. Because then you can't pivot and turn anywhere. Then every single angle's blocked off. That dragon is stuck there, and it's going to get charged by horsemen.
Well, just the spearmen. I think the spearmen will tie him down. What are the spearmen wielding? Are they the brew of strength ones? Are they?
Yeah, they're canopers in their own right.
Well, you're talking 30 attacks with elite wounding on 4s. You can
9.
easily get 9. So somewhere between, let's say, 6 and 12, something like that, if you're lucky. And 12 damage would put the dragon in a terrible position.
Yeah, your Sorbane turns up, the Twilight Assassin joins in, drain life, you make sure,
I have to say, Jeremy's impressed me with the way that he's pushed along on the left-hand side. The left-hand side seems to have just put itself in the game, which is quite good.
Yeah, I just feel like it can also be taken out of the game very quickly by a troop of gargoyles, making all 4 units stop moving.
Yeah.
Like if you waver the Gur Panthers as well, like nothing's going anywhere.
All right, shooting at the assassin.
Here we go.
There's your one.
There's your one. Yeah.
So we found a safe spot for the dragon after all.
Ooh, 2 more.
He found a spot that he's okay with. I don't know how safe.
Yeah, because is it a rear charge from the silver bees?
Silver bees are out now.
Yeah, they're out.
7 plus 5. Wavered. Boom.
Yeah, he's still in the game, so I still have to keep the pressure on.
All right, it's 11-13, not 9. Okay. All right, assassin. Good job. All right, so that's Jeremy shooting both of his wizards at the assassin again here in turn 2 and still not killing him.
Yep.
And I don't think there's any combat, so that'll probably take us to the end of Jeremy's second turn. I'm guessing since he already rolled nerve, doesn't have anything to cast.
I'm going to say Samachris. Can Samachris see anybody, or is that just a move?
He's only got Fireball. Nah, I can't see out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's looking the wrong way. Okay, and over to Elliot's turn 2.
Whee!
Still got 5 attacks as well, hasn't he? Is that right from Mind Screech?
5 or 6.
Let me look. Let's see.
There you go. Elliot's stopping it from getting away now, and then everything else joins in.
It's the
a good move to take that dragon out of the game because it's going to be pivotal on the flanks of that dragon. Removing that again, like narrowing down directions of attack, is really important here.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, Mind Screech is 5 attacks on 4s with Pathfinder and Fly, so it doesn't matter that it came out of the... Yeah, but it doesn't have Crushing or Thunders or anything like that.
The important thing is he causes 1 point of damage, isn't it, at this stage?
Yeah, sure.
Where is the Spearman Horde as well? Are they in arc as well for the Mind Screech? The Men at Arms Spearman Horde, sorry.
Yep.
No, so they're well out as well, aren't they? It is. Kings of War is a lot about just being able to take on a unit with any kind of reprisal and being able to take on that dragon without any fear of being charged. Massive. Did he turn the? I mean, if they're spearmen, if they could just be a little bit further forward, they may. They're not going to get hindered, are they? They may get hindered.
No, they're fine because you just pick up in place, so you'll avoid the either side. Elliot, I think when it would set up deployment, he set it up so he can march through that gap, so he knew he was fairly safe in fitting through there. Which is why he set him back a bit, which is paying dividends at the moment.
Yeah, if you think about it from his perspective, the assassin has soaked up a lot of lightning bolts, and he's going to soak up a lot more lightning bolts as well in the following turns.
Yeah.
And none of the units have taken, none of the spearmen have taken any damage. It wouldn't have mattered so much a bit of chip damage on the Abyssal Horseman, but none of the spearmen have taken any damage. Okay, so this is interesting. He's going for the spearmen. He's going balls deep, as they call it.
Yeah. So we'll see if he remembers his crone. But that is a charge. So here, bottom of turn 2, we already have multiple combats going on.
I don't know if I rate Naeus in the Basilians at the moment. I don't know.
I like him. He's really cheap.
I suppose when you compare him to an Alohi now, who aren't as good, he's not all right. But I don't know, because he doesn't give that extra leap down to the horseman. It makes it a little bit. Oh, I don't know.
But he's cheap. He's very quick, and he's another nimble, large cap character nonsense thing.
I guess I get stuck with the Julius crutch. That's it. If you're taking Basilians and you haven't got Julius in your army, you should get a good slap around the back of the head.
Yeah, Julius is good.
How does it compare to a Lord on Frostfang, which is a very popular Northern Alliance pick?
What, Naeus?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Naeus.
It's not quite as good because the Lord of Frostfang's bringing in the very inspiring, the crushing 3 more attacks. Like he does. The Lord of Frostfang is coming up on like Dragon in terms of viability, but also it's a key inspiring source. Whereas this like Basilia are full of inspiring sources, so it's not as important.
Mm-hmm.
And Naeus isn't anyway. Well, it's like 2 attacks down essentially because you get your Gorgon and Snowfox, and then it's a crushing down, which adds up to quite a lot because like the Frostfang hits like a dragon in the flank, and you can't ignore it. Where you can usually take the hits from the 1 less crushing, the 2 less attacks. It's a big difference in it.
So it looks like Elliot has opted to charge the Ogre Palace Guard with his gargoyles instead of just landing an inch in front of both of them.
I think because the other Ogre Palace Guard is not able to see the spearmen.
Yeah.
So you might be banking on a waiver, do you think, on the Gur Panthers?
He's got to hit it with both the Mind Screech and the Bolt Thrower, but that's a lot of... Because you know what happened, a Bolt Thrower miss, and then you're going to have to throw the Mind Screech in as well.
Yeah, and I guess you don't really want to kill the Panthers there, do you?
No. Because at the moment, the only people who can actually charge... Nobody can charge. The Horsemen are actually out of effective range, so they're safe at the moment, apart from the Gur Panthers themselves. So he might be happy just to kill the Gur Panthers and then see what happens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's possible. Still hasn't moved the Summoner Crone.
Is it a bit like using like a monolith? It's like a monolith. Just put it in the middle of the army. It doesn't matter where it is, just as long as it's there. Right? You can do stuff. Right?
Right.
I think he's forgot the 6-inch range.
Yeah, usually don't put wings on something and then leave it stationary for 2 turns. Odd choice. Well, yeah, he probably just forgot about it.
It's easily done, isn't it?
Yeah. He's got a lot of individual or small units running here. All right, so Elliot's got the dragon pretty well locked down. He's got the spears into the other spears pretty much in isolation and protected, at least for this turn. They'll get a Bane Chant from that standard bearer. He's got some ogres chaffed up, which is going to hold up at least one of the knight units behind them. There we go. Now we're flying the Crone.
Whee!
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, now he inspires the gargoyles.
Well,
Yeah, that's it. No, I don't need to inspire gargoyles. What are you talking about?
it's a winning 18 now, isn't it? I guess you just don't want to get fireballed by Samicus in a lucky shot and get taken off.
Right?
Oh, you do?
No, he does. Or he doesn't. Or he does. Or he doesn't.
The important thing, he's remembered she's there.
That's right.
Yeah. It's almost like I feel like I'll unit up this turn. I don't know why,
And we're expecting over here on the left that he's going to try to bolt thrower and lightning bolt those Gur Panthers out of the way before they can chaff up the horses.
Yeah. Or charge the bolt thrower. I mean, if you care.
That's true.
The thing is with the Gur Panthers as well, is Jeremy would have been good just to have just a little bit more space so that the Gur Panthers could spin and then move out of the way. Where he's put them, it means that any kind of move is just going to put them in the way of another unit.
Yeah, and True to form, the ball throws miss.
Bloody told you, mate. I bloody told you.
Just the one.
Oh, no. Because if he... No, actually, it's not too bad for him because the Go Panthers may disrupt something, but it's not too bad. But that's still disappointing.
Mm.
Misses his Bane chant on the spears as well.
His shooting has been terrible. He is currently being outshot by 2 guys with lightning bolt compared to an entire army.
Right. Being outshot by 2 guys with lightning bolt who haven't actually killed anything yet.
He's killed the Go Panthers one shot. Bosh.
It's real good nerve.
Oof.
It's the. I'm hoping the only thing I've just looked at this is the Mind Screech is over 16 from the knife. I'm hoping he's managed that, hasn't he?
All right. And it looks like we're going to be doing combat against the dragon first. So that's going to be the Mind Screech doing no wounds. And here comes the hindered Soulbane. No elites, but 4 hits. And that should be 2 wounds.
He got
so
there.
That will definitely not take it. So ground it, but definitely is not going to take it out. Yeah. So he'll Iron Resolve back down to 1. And now we'll see if this gambit with the spears on the spears works out in his favor, despite not getting any Bane Chant.
That's good.
That's a good number of hits.
Good.
2
That is really good number of hits.
converts both of the elite rolls, yeah.
12.
And converts 2 of the vicious for 12. Yeah, that's really good.
Elite and vicious is great there, isn't it? That's like he's got 3 or 4 extra damage out of them.
Yeah.
It's a good nerve roll and you'll wave them.
They're like shock troops. And they're snakes.
Yeah, at least you got the double one out now. I mean, that's it. You know.
Yeah.
But the heal and Radiance of Life, what they're going to be back on? They're probably going to be back on 6, aren't they? So it's going to be a tough call. But
Gargoyles do 1 wound, which gets Iron Resolved off of the Ogre Palace Guard. And that, I think, is going to be Elliot's second turn.
Bosh, maybe my favourite British phrase from Carl Prislinski. Was it? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I should use Bosh every time a unit dies. Bosh.
Did he even roll the gargoyles?
He did. They did 1 wound, and the Ogre Palace Guard just Iron Resolved it back.
Yeah, fair enough. Ah, yeah, 1.
I was still zoomed in on the spears. He did the combat so fast I barely got over to it.
That's because it doesn't matter. It's gargoyles.
Right, like they've already done their job just by getting in their face, really. All right, so top of turn 3. So you're Jeremy. Your dragon is grounded. Your wizards have wavered an assassin but not killed him, and you've just taken 12 wounds, while 11 wounds after you Iron Resolve on your spears, and you've got 1 Ogre Palace Guard unit chaffed up, and the other one I don't think is in range to actually hit anything because you lost your screen before it could do anything useful. What do you do this turn?
I don't know. You've got to. I mean, I think Nair's has got to put himself in a position that he can react to whatever happens next turn. You have to suck it in a little bit, don't you? You just have to go, right, I've got to make the most of what I've got now, heal the spearmen, take out those gargoyles, hope that the dragon kills one of the units, although he's not going to. He's going to have to get really lucky to kill either the Mind Screech or the Soulbane.
He shouldn't.
He shouldn't. That's why I say he's really lucky. But apart from that, he's just got to put himself in a good position for next turn. So he's got to think about how he's going to get attacked, what's going to hit him, and how he can counter that. I think one thing I would say over on Elliot's side is that the horsemen, at the moment on the right-hand side, are they going to be in a position to double charge into the flank, or are they in the rear at the moment?
Yeah, it's looking for a double flank is what he's doing.
Yeah, so they can still get a double flank. Otherwise, it would be quite awkward for them at this point in time. Putting the lightning bolts down now and avoiding an assassin it's too late. I don't know. It's a tough position. It is a tough position because he's been forced into a corner a little bit. I think, as I said, you just got to put yourself in a position where you know what charges are coming to you, how you're going to best react to them, and counter it. I think the Palace Guard Horde are going to take out those gargoyles. The other Palace Guard Horde are kind of stuck. You could push them forward and maybe push the knights around behind them to try and put them in a good position for next turn. It's going to be tough.
Could you try to flank charge the Mind Screech with Samacris and the dragon, and maybe push Samacris in front to block the spears? And
how many attacks is Samacris how many sacks is Samacris wielding? She's only what?
Three.
Melee 3, crush 1.
So you're talking 6 attacks.
And the dragon together.
Yeah, 14, 16, isn't it, on the
Yeah,
Mind Screech, or 13, 15?
13, 15.
So
and for Fred's benefit, boom, it's Bosch, in it. Bosch is like result, in it.
Yes, us Northerners use Bosch all the time.
I don't think I use Bosch. I don't think it's regional. I think it's down from person to person. I think it's one of those, isn't it?
Probably is. Unfortunately, so many things get called Northern or Southern, don't they? Which has no real kind of like a. I thought all Southerners said that. Not really. Just the weird ones, you know. Okay, I'll be really interested to see what Jeremy does now and see how he maneuvers his units.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely brought a lot of heat on that left side, and right now they're just kind of standing there looking at each other without any really good targets. I mean, he can obliterate the hell out of some gargoyles and make some fine gargoyle paste, but that doesn't really get anywhere.
If those spearmen, the men-at-arms spearmen, can survive, then it puts him in a good position to get him next turn. But what he doesn't want to do is overcommit, because the men-at-arms are only going to deal maybe 6 or 7 damage, aren't they? And kind of average onto the spearman horde there.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, I think he can't send Sam Chris in because I think he needs the heal to get by another turn.
Correct.
Yeah, especially since the Drain Life will be coming next turn.
And the Bane Chant, which should
and the Bane Chant. Hopefully, we'll cross our fingers on the Bane Chant that he gets it next time.
The rest of his shooting has been crap. The only thing notable is getting 1 damage followed by a good nerve roll. So it's not even down to the shooting; that's just nerve rolls.
Yep.
Just follow up and one later on.
I kind of feel like we're seeing what we were talking about when we looked at the deployment. How we kind of wish that Jeremy had deployed more of his stuff on the right side of the large building instead of the left. If he kind of done it the other way around, right? Like put the dragon over on the left and his 4 hammer units on the right, they wouldn't be all boxed up in that little channel between the wall and the hill right now. They'd have this more open space around the forest, and like the dragon could go stand on the hill and like threaten, that troop of gargoyles and that horseman over there on Elliot's left, and kind of win that stare down. I think a little better than these like 2 cavalry units and a spear horde that it was trying to stare down over on the right side.
It opens up so much space in the center by not having more units over on the right hand side of the building, because there's a dragon and a spearman horde. Just 1 unit over on the other side would have made a huge difference to Jeremy at this point in time, because he could have just held some of like Elliot's stuff back, but he's been able to just pick them out. It'd be interesting to ask him at the start just what his thought process, because as I said, he had the opportunity to see a few of the units that Elliot put down initially using his scrying gem, and then he decided to go heavy left hand side. But it'd be interesting to ask.
Actually, doesn't Bosch come from like Bish Bash Bosch?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's true. It's funny how things like evolve. I tend to say Bosch, do drills, but it doesn't necessarily ring with everybody.
Yeah.
Now, I'm interested in what he's done with the horde there. Does that mean has he got a flank from? No, he hasn't got a flank from the other Mind Screech, has he, at this point in
time? He might. How fast is a Mind Screech? 7?
I think
Six.
it's
Okay, never mind. He's out. That is just out. And these horsemen have sharpness, but they don't have Pathfinder. That's the other unit. I think no, that one's got a lead. So he can take that charge from those horsemen. They'll be hitting on 3s instead of 2s, and they'll lose 1 thunderous. So what? 18 attacks, 3s and 4s.
Nah.
He's moved Nias up close enough to just inspire them. Looks like.
Yeah. I mean, you can put the gargoyles right on the edge of the wood to allow the horsemen to charge past him without becoming hindered. But that's going to be edgy because of the angles that are at play there. Or you just use the shaft and move away.
I'd use the chaff. I wouldn't. I mean, what he's doing now is he's going, well, what I'll do is I'll commit on the left-hand side and try and take out these horsemen. But the horsemen can just back off. I mean, what's the range of the palace guard? The range is 12.
6. Yeah.
So if he's over 8 inches away at this point in time, not quite. So he can't back off to be out of range. So he'd have to chaff him up. But he could chaff him up. He's happy to do that. So as long as those horsemen survive, then he's not going to be able to just swing round, at least in his viewpoint.
Yeah, and he still has two of his scoring units holding up 4 essentially of Jeremy's scoring units outside the scoring zone for a whole other turn.
Mm-hmm. You can see the clock going down as well, can't you? On like Jeremy's turn 3.
Yeah. He's bleeding time at the moment. I think he's fine. 70 minutes, even on UB, is a lot. Like, you're not picking up dice and sorting through them and separating them back out. You're just going beep, beep, boop, bosh.
See, this is where I was tempted when I was saying with the Nares, is that you would want to put Nares, because it's a nimble ability, just to fly down one flank so that it would commit the horseman. So the horseman would be going, right, well, I've either got the option of backing off, but then I'm going to get hit in the flank by Nares at one point. It's going to cause a fair amount of damage, and then the gargoyles are going to die to the palace guard. But where Nares is at the moment, and where the knights are, they just can't influence anything. They can't even, at this point in time, actually attack the bolt thrower. So they're kind of just out of the game, which is...
Yeah, they're kind of stuck there. Yeah, it would. I think tactically it would have been better to move Nias all the way down so we could see around the forest, but I think the only reason he's put him there was so he could get inspiring on the palace guard, because he doesn't... I guess he's afraid that they're not going to hold up to a charge from the knights.
Yay! This is a case where I can both root for Elliot and root against Sam McChrist, so it's a win. This is the perfect moment.
Is Sam McChrist elite? Isn't she elite, or is that me?
She's a bitch. That's what she is.
Oh, right, okay. I didn't realize that was a rule, but okay. Yeah, that's good.
Here's round 3 of lightning into the assassin, who's done nothing but catch lightning bolts so far.
Continues to do it like a champ. Wait, no, I want this one to die because the assassin's a bitch, actually. Yeah.
I don't think you're working quite right here. You know, at the end of the day, everything on the Twilight King side is not a bitch, but everything on the other side is. No.
So that is only 2 wounds between the 2 wizards on the assassin in the woods.
All he's got to do is roll a 4. Ooh, just.
Roll a 4.
He's inspiring. The assassin inspires himself because he has the token, so there it is again.
Ooh, there you go.
And a 5.
He's done his job. He's done his job. I mean, what we talking?
He caught 6 lightning bolts.
Those wizards are just, I mean, to a certain extent as well, out of the game as well when they could.
That Bane chance doing bugger all.
It's true.
All right, so here's the men-at-arms attacking back against the 7, which is about what we expected, right? We said 6, 7, 8, somewhere around there.
Yeah, somewhere between 6 and 12. Yeah, there you go. Laughing.
And over here, Ogre Palace Guards beating up on some poor defenseless gargoyles.
Oh, come on, do it. Go on. Go on, do it. It's no fun.
No fun.
All right, Elliot does not get a snake eyes to save his gargoyles. And
you know what? This is where the dragon actually kicks ass and then just turns around and goes, 2 fingers. Come on, boys. I'll take you.
All right, he hasn't turned the dragon, so I guess the dragon is beating up on the Mind Screech.
He can't. He's got to fight either the Soulbane or the Mind Screech. He can't turn.
Right, but he didn't turn around to beat up the Soulbane.
That's what I mean.
Just
Yeah,
facing
didn't do a 180. Yeah.
But I guess that's better because if he turns around and starts beating up the Soulbane, the Mind Screech could turn around and lightning bolt something.
Mm.
So I guess between the two, might as well at least turn off a lightning bolt for a turn.
Well, I guess Soulbane can then run off and go after a wizard as well if he wants them.
Yeah, true.
The thing is, he doesn't get with the draw move, which would have been huge, I think. Although I think he can still spin, can't he, being an individual, and still get the flank of the spears or even go after the wizard.
Yeah, and getting into the flank, it gives you. I mean, you can put your Dreadnought somewhere else if you want, but I'd probably put it into the spears and make sure.
Only 5 damage as well. Oh.
It's. I mean, people going about dragons all the time, but it's 10 attacks. Like you're going to drop 3 on the charge. You've got. You'll roll. You should roll 1-1. You might roll a second one. 5 to 6 is about right.
Did Jeremy forget to life leech off that wound on the dragon?
He's got
Iron Resolve it.
He's got both Iron Resolve and life leech. Took the
He
item
did
for it.
do. Oh, he's got life leech as well. Oh, right, okay, yeah, because he took 1 off already, didn't he, for the Iron Resolve? Yeah.
Yeah, they only did 2 last turn. The Iron Resolve 1, and he should be picking up that other one with his life leech, but he may not remember it.
Well, I mean, Elliot did forget his most important piece, didn't he? So
Yeah, for 2 turns. So.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? It's fair then.
I think you're right, Tommy.
Oh, that's okay. Go ahead.
I was just going to say about the dragon is that there is a lot of fear about a dragon, but you have to use him well. If he doesn't combine with another unit or he doesn't get a flank, he's not going to kill stuff. He's better as a threat on lots of occasions than he is actually just charging into the front of the unit.
Yeah, and I was just going to say that I know Jeremy used to play undead, so he doesn't really have any excuse for forgetting life leech.
So he should be taking 1 wound off everybody and then going, oh, sorry, I didn't realize I didn't have life leech, and then having to put them back on rather than the other way around. Got you.
Right.
I think a little nifty thing, if you're going back to what Tom said earlier, is when because he should kill the spearman, when he turns to face the Palace Guard hard, if he wind blasts them back rather than shooting them normally, it can hinder him as well, which means that you've got another turn fighting the Palace Guard hard with no support for you to try and pick them up. So that's spear hard. Like I know Elliot said spear hard are absolute razors, and I've always thought it's kind of wrong and stupid. But in this case, it might really work because he's got the tools. He's got Bane Chant. He's got Drain Life. They're a lean vicious stock. So
I think it works well in the Twilight Kin because you get that which you'd normally get in an elf army, but you also get the huge amount of Drain Life. The huge amount of Drain Life. Well, 1 Drain Life on this occasion, but sorry, you were going to say.
It's a big Drain Life. 9's massive.
Well, it's only 6-inch range. I mean, I'll get 9 with an 18-inch range, mate. I don't bother with this kind of like 6-inch range marking, mate.
Yeah. Not everyone else gets to ignore the rules.
Yeah, true. I don't like in the chat, Brinton, like confusing me with Folks. I mean, that's just not on, right? I know we're both John, right? But there is a significant difference, right?
Yeah.
He's far better looking than me, and he's Northern. So kind of isn't he? Is he Northern or Midlander? I don't know. One of the two.
He's Midland. He's not Northern. Everything south of Sheffield is Southern to me. But you're looking a lot more Nick Williams. Nick likes to sport the grey vest.
Oh, hang on. I could be more Northern. Hang on.
You're going to shave your hair off pretty quick, and you might be all right.
Oh, there we go.
Like it.
Got my flat cap.
There you go. Like a Peaky Blinder. So it looks like he has gone for the double flank charge on the dragon.
Yeah, get that.
Hindering both. And I guess the Soulbane, he moved him around, but since he couldn't draw a line of sight to anything useful through the dragon, he just sort of moved him.
Guess he wants to take Dread in on the spear horde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Touch and go whether we could have seen him, but yeah, it was worth a go.
He could have charged the wizards, but they're kind of out of the game now, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to get one shot, aren't they, before combat kind of like ensues. I mean, Mark in chat points out why you would go for the not go for the Soulbane. You go for the Mind Screech. I think at the end of the day, you weren't going to kill either, were you? It doesn't matter which one you go for.
Right.
You would more like just try and take away some of the shooting from the Mind Screech. I think is more important.
Yeah, because punching the Soulbane once won't turn off his Dread and Inspire.
Nope.
You have to actually kill it. The dragon probably wasn't going to do that unless it got really lucky on its nerve roll.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So it's going to be interesting if those spearmen are in the middle and can break the other spearman horde. That's really going to put Elliot in the driving seat.
Yeah, it's that drain life is just so amazing because then they're not only on 7 damage; they should be on 3. And then those spearmen therefore are now on 12. They should take another 8 at a minimum, which means they're on double ones. So like on poor rolls, that unit's dead. You have to be very unlucky not to kill them.
Things have happened though in the past. It just has to survive. But admittedly, the spearmen are not going to kill him in return, are they? That's the other thing. But they are going to get Palace Guard in the flank.
Yeah, at that point, if the Palace Guard do go in, they've got to compete then with the second horde of spearmen and the other regiment of Abyssal Cavalry, which are now in the game.
And so it looks like over here on the left side, he's positioning his gargoyles to screen his horsemen from a charge from the Ogre Palace Guard, but not going into them.
Yeah,
which I think is interesting.
I think it makes sense because it basically pulls the Palace Guard on the other side of the woods.
And it gives Jeremy no charge targets for anything except the Palace Guard.
Correct. Because if you also look, I was going to say the horsemen. This is the thing I was slightly worried about: is that the horsemen on the left-hand side, the Paladin Knights on the left-hand side, don't have a view to the flank of the spearmen.
No.
So what happens is that he has to use the Palace Guard. If he could have the option of using the horsemen, he could have put those guys into the flank. This is all dependent on whether the spearmen flub. And then it uses the Palace Guard in reserve, so that they could then possibly take on one of the because they're better against the spearmen than the knights are in the front. But there we go.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is pretty clever play on Elliot's part. Over here, he's still got his horsemen waiting. He's got his gargoyles protecting them from a charge. He can have some ogres come through the forest hindered, and probably still kill some gargoyles. But then what do? Then they're looking at horses. They can try to back up to make the horsemen hinder themselves. But then you're talking about starting combat all the way over there outside the scoring zone on turn 4 and still holding up another 3 scoring units of Jeremy's that aren't doing anything. They're just waiting for this side to resolve somehow.
I mean, even frustratingly, looking at where the Palace Guard horde are, if they'd have been an arc of the bolt thrower, so that they could have charged the bolt thrower, even in this particular scenario happens, then they could have bypassed everything and gone for the bolt thrower.
Yep,
and
been in the flank.
Position.
Yep, been in the flank of the horseman next turn.
So I think it's so important when you're in that position to really look ahead and see where, right, I'm in a bad position, but where can I capitalize? But, yeah.
Right.
I like the Summoner Crown there. I think it's too close to the lightning bolt now. If you just put it around the corner, it's hard for me to point out in here. If you put it around the corner of that building's bottom, the very bottom edge facing towards Elliot's deployment, that bottom edge there, he could wind blast the Mind Screech, which is what he's done, I think, probably. We'll find out after he's done. And then have the flank covered so that in the Crownback, he's done that, and then the Crownback can be chargeable, and he's probably still out of lightning bolt range, so I can get the best of all worlds.
Good old wind blast.
Good old wind blast, and that does 3, 6, 9, 12. It does put them still in, that leaves them in range of the flank, but I think if he manages to get rid of those spears, he might be able to reform and stay out of charge range of those Palace Guard.
Correct, that's a good thought.
And here's the bolt thrower doing 3 wounds to the other Palace Guard horde.
I'd have been tempted to start moving the bolt thrower forward and just use it as chaff.
He got the Bane Chant in.
There's a Bane Chant.
At that point.
And now the Drain Life. See what kind of a swing this gives him. Only 4 hits.
3.
And 3. It's pretty big. That puts him up to 12 wounds.
But also
Brings
heals the
his fort down to
spearman.
4.
It's just good, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
good.
it's
Drain Life
it's
is
a-
really good.
It's a total of 6 wound swing in that combat.
Mm.
Looks like a nerve check for those ogres. So they are, of course, going to be okay. He's going to Iron Resolve that back down to 2. And then we'll be
Yeah,
on to
friendly.
combat.
Probably did more damage to the spears than the Baneshant will do, and healed as well.
Mm.
So, very strong spell.
Yeah.
Who takes 20 odd Drain Life in one army, though? That would just be silly.
What? What?
What? Say something.
That was a good balanced army list, all right?
Looks like Jeremy may have rage quit there for a moment, but then come back.
This is bullshit. He's rolled half decent for his shooting. I've had enough.
Oof. So here are the flank attacks from the Spear Horde on the Dragon.
Ooh, look at that elite roll.
Yeah.
9.
Yeah.
Good grief. Got 6 out of 9 on an elite roll.
Jesus. Well, that's good as that. 16.
That's 16 wounds, yeah. On a dragon that already had plenty. And not Snake Eyes, so that will take off that dragon.
Big.
It's huge.
Yeah.
So you just got to shuffle the Mind Screech and then spin both units, haven't you, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Really all he can do. Wait.
No! I suppose he was trying to overrun.
Yeah.
But, you just get himself in the way.
Yeah, it's probably the right choice, actually. I think if you got a 2 or a 3, you could have got a full 90 degrees on the Spearman.
Oh, there is Fred in the watching as well.
Oh, I've got to check my messenger. Hang on.
That guy's everywhere.
I've heard Fred isn't actually his name. He's actually a club name, and there's an entire club of Freds.
What?
That's what I've heard. That's the rumor. I just made it up, but
That's how rumors start. Somebody makes up.
yeah.
All right. Spearman on Spearman violence here.
He actually has identical twin brother, or close to.
You needed that vicious. You needed that vicious.
Definitely needed that vicious.
Yep, gone.
Yeah. Fred's brother is very... It's uncanny, isn't it? It's a little bit odd. But he wants to point out...
No, it didn't need the vicious. I forgot your Bane John.
Fred wants to point out that he's managed to hack our UB game, apparently. Just guess the password, old school style.
Yes, the very, very difficult to guess password that Elliot selected.
He just wants to have an epic moment for his next giant dwarf episode.
Right. He can have his hack of the month.
It looks like he should be able to pivot outside.
I think he doesn't want to. And if you look at these where his Abyssal Horsemen are, I think that's the reason why, because the Abyssal Horsemen and the Spearmen are both in. If he charges as he can.
Got you. Yeah. So you're right. He could have possibly got out rather. But again, is it a trap?
Mm-hmm.
It's a trap.
I'm trying to work out if Elliot thinks that far ahead. I'm not sure yet.
Summoner Crone was in the perfect position. What are you talking about?
All right, so that's going to bring us to Jeremy's turn 4.
But if Jeremy just moves Semicris down to the side of the Spearman, he will not be able to fit a multi-charge in on the Ogre Palace Guard.
Yeah, what do you do here if you're Jeremy? Yeah, you can try to protect your ogres. But I mean, right now, so Elliot has basically cleared the right side of the board, except for a couple of lightning bolt wizards who, so far, haven't done anything except take 3 turns to kill an assassin.
Well, they should definitely go for the crone. They are both in range after movement.
Do you reckon the crone? I'm still tempted by the mind screech over here in the bottom right hand side.
Yeah, with
These
5
are
wounds
5
on it.
damage.
He does
It's still-
score. The crone's got a ton of utility, though. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough call.
But what are we talking on the crone? I mean, are you thinking about focusing both the lightning bolts and Samacris onto him so that you get as much damage as possible?
Yeah.
Maybe put in a position where they can do both, so they can choose to either shoot at the summoner crone or at them, either one. Do you draw them out? Do you at this point in time say, well, I can't charge in because I'm just going to lose a unit? Am I better off just holding off a little bit again and just put the knights in a position so you can get a double or triple charge onto another unit in the next turn rather than just throwing the palace guard in?
Elliot needs to hit the clock, by the way.
Is that Elliot's clock or is that your clock, Mike?
That's the one I wrote. So he has finally gotten.
The plot thickens.
Okay. So it just takes a second for mine to refresh then. See if I can get it.
No, I think it's right. I think he's on the right-hand side.
That's the wrong clock number. Hold on a second. Let me go get the right number out of our chat.
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Oh, it is. Yeah, okay. What was I saying? Right. So he does finally have Nias around into the flank of the horseman down here. Where it would have been great if he was there last turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy's definitely in a very rough spot. So he sent the Palace Guard forward, hindered into those gargoyles. And I guess he'll be hoping to kill them back up into the woods to force a hindered charge from those horsemen, who then won't have any choice but to either do that or get flanked by Nias. But that's still pulling 2 scoring units of Jeremy's down into a corner on turn 4 or 5, I guess, at that point.
Yeah, that's what I'd be doing.
Yeah.
And then you put the bolt thrower in front to buy another turn. Bolt thrower, chap, it's the future.
It's great. I mean, hey, it's only 90 points, right? It's only 5 points more than gargoyles.
Yeah. And far less useful.
Yeah.
Well, if it's chaffing, then it's equally as useful.
Yeah, so here we go. Oh, I guess he does have line of sight with 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, but probably doesn't quite have range. 6, 9, 12, 15, 16. Yeah, now he's just out of these knights.
Everybody's going for it.
Yep. So, I mean, Jeremy has to turn both of these knight regiment units and move them towards the middle of the table to be ready to counter-strike. They've basically been sitting over there doing nothing for the first 2/3 of the game.
Has he moved his knights yet?
No. He moves Samacris.
Yeah, she's come up to heal the ogres.
Is that the way she's facing at the moment?
She might not be in range though, because obviously she's got measured from a leader point.
Oh, the way to do that is to click on the ogre unit, haven't you? So click on the ogre unit, and you can tell whether the ogre unit. There you go. It's just about in range.
But the thing that concerns me here is Samacris is very inspiring or just inspiring?
Inspiring.
So these Palace Guard that just charged the tall spears are now just out of inspiring range then.
Yes, they are.
Ugh. That might come back to bite him. Ugh. Mm.
Naeus has made that move we wanted to do a turn ago, hasn't he?
Yep.
Is he out of the wood, or is he going to be hindered if he goes in?
He is out of the wood and he has turned the corner to look at the flank of these horsemen. But
Okay.
at best he'll be charging in turn 5,
Hmm.
kind of down into a corner away from the scoring zone. So
The scoring zone is actually quite big when you look at it. So for small monsters like that, it's not too bad. But the issue is more the cavalry and the palace guard. This is where I think it's just the turn before, if the knights had just been in a slightly better position to threaten more than they were. But there you go.
yeah.
So he's still got vision with Samacris now. He's put his knights in front to the actual palace guard horde. Just a good question, isn't it?
I think
She's
so.
taller than them, isn't she?
No, she's like
No,
5,
same height.
Same height.
Probably just about squeezed through.
Only height 3.
Oh,
Fairly
okay.
sure Elliot would be a gentleman and let him back up a little bit.
Yeah, you could maybe draw a line from there to the ogre.
But then she'd be out of range. She's so close anyway, isn't she? The way she is. There, Yinga.
I'm too
After
sure.
It's like you're going for the mind screech with wizards.
I think he's going to go for the horseman. The horsemen are more important.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No matter lining ball on those horsemen, they don't like it. Especially if you waver him. They've only got a few.
Yeah.
The waiver's the important thing, isn't it? As long as you can get a waiver.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are a little low. They are only 14, 16, right?
Correct.
I think. Yeah.
Risky. I mean, I'd probably try to kill the Summoner Crone and take the Drain Life out of the equation. Because it's a lot easier.
The one thing I would say is they're not inspired at the moment.
Yeah.
But looking in it, so even a lucky shot. So if he causes 6 damage and gets a 10, he's going to be in one of those horrible positions where he goes, ha ha ha. Just takes a unit off, doesn't he?
All right, so Jeremy heals 2 off of the Palace Guard horde, bringing them down to 1. And now we will see. Oh, he is going after the Mind Screech with his wizards. And I think there's only 1 wound.
Yeah.
And the second one might have cover.
Yeah, he does. That's why that's why I didn't think he'd do that.
Eight, 7's a 15.
15. Oof, wavered.
Yeah, misses by 1.
But that's important because now you can't charge through it.
Yeah.
He's nimble though, isn't he?
Nobody's got fly.
I thought he was nimble as well,
yeah.
so he can.
Yeah, he's got fly and nimble.
Yeah, but it'd lose the nimble because he's got fly.
Does he lose it because he's wavered?
Yeah.
I thought you had to still be charged by a unit, disordered rather than wavered. Maybe I'm wrong. I can be wrong.
You disordered if you wavered. It's what makes the Kings of Men Indomitable Will thing so good, because you can have a cavalry horde get wavered by shooting, pop your Indomitable Will and become undisordered and get your thunder charge from.
Yeah. Which is a broken rule.
So looks like
Not
the
really.
Palace Guard. The Palace Guard
never
horde
done
only
it
did a
yet.
couple of wounds to the tall spears, and then only rolled a 4 for nerve, so they will be fine. And now it looks like he's about to do the other palace guard on the gargoyles, I'm guessing. Or they're just going to call that done?
I mean, I don't know why. Like, if you roll 6 hits because you've rolled backwards, you've rolled poorly, and then you only get 1.
I see what's happened is that Elliot thought he was rolling for the spearmen, but he was rolling for the gargoyles.
I see. Okay. And he backs up 2, and that does back him up just enough to have the woods peek through.
Yeah, just
Now we're rolling the hindered combat here. And that's just going to be 6 wounds. Put him at 10, 12, and a 6. Not going to get them. It's not going to waver them either.
Nope.
Isn't this a time where we start just gloating now, isn't it, Tom? They just get, get carried away and go, oh, yeah, well, that means there's another win. Or, sorry, the first win.
Get a bit
Northern
carried away
King.
immediately.
The other ones for granted.
Maybe.
This is by no means over. There's quite a lot you can do in 2 turns, and if you've got a 7th turn as well, with the amount of units he's still got and the amount of hitting power that Jeremy's still got. That wavered's big as well, because it means he's going to struggle to pop them Palace Guard in one go now. Before, when the horsemen were going to turn up and just absolutely ruin them, then you could fairly safely call, well, maybe even call game on that, barring mad dice. But wavering that man screech is actually really important.
I still think a double charge from the spearmen is going to do it. I think a double charge from them, because I think you can get the mind screech out of the way to get the horde in, but
I don't think you can.
He's not even optioning it. So
it can only back up, and you can't pivot and back up because you've lost your nimble. So they're all kind of stuck.
Yeah.
The other Might Screech can now get into the flank of the Night Horde and wind blast them into the fence again.
Yeah! Get on the wall!
Yeah.
And if he's lucky enough, he might even pull them back behind the building.
Yep, and stick them for a hold on the turn.
And that'd be amazing.
Which is probably what he's doing, is he's just stepped into their flank.
I love a masterclass in wind blast. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's enough with a 3 on the wind blast to stick him behind the building.
Yeah, that's worth it. I did it once against. I did it once in a game where a Soul Horde were just in cover behind a stone, and it was staying there. It was going to pop over the top and then go and charge stuff. So I shot it with my lightning bolt. Then I wind blasted it out of cover, shot it with 3 volley guns, and then blew it away out of range. And I'm like, "Yep, that's wind blast doing its job."
Nice.
The guy came back and went, "What?" And so I'm going to show you something amazing. Watch this.
So it's going to take on the Palace Guard Horde.
Going for it. They've got Fury as well, so he needs to. If he kills them, then that's great. If he doesn't,
He's not going to kill them, no. He's not. He's just not going to do it on 3s and 4s. But he's going to time up. He's going to time up.
But then, would you want to charge? Would you want to try and lure them out and make sure Nias is now?
Personally, I would rather take Nias in the front and Palace Guard hindered in the front rather than Palace Guard unhindered and Nias in the flank.
Yeah.
Personally, it still means what's that? Is that going to be turn 5 for Jeremy? So he's got 1 more turn to get in. You can still chaff it up a little bit, but the thing is, I totally forgot about like the Silver Breeze Cav. They still got the Silver Breeze Cav for some reason. Just slowly sneaking around the bottom. See, he's doing it. Look, he's spot him.
I think it's why he's put it back. Otherwise, he'd be sending in units to multi-charge the Palace Guard.
Okay. I have to check it out now.
Who's that?
Oh God, is
I
that
mean,
4?
no, Mind Screech is
You could cover. You could cover for Wind Blast. Would that?
No.
No.
So that's going to be 4 then.
Yeah, I think still 3 would have been not enough.
get in the
Ugh.
wall.
Oh. Yeah, that's going to be
You could just see Jeremy, can't you? Just going, what?
But my knights. But they won't have done anything all game now. Ugh. Ugh.
In life roll though.
How many drain life was that? Just 1?
Yep.
Yeah. Not checking to see if the bolt thrower can shoot the knights.
I'm relevant, damn it. No, you're not. You got to stand in front of the Ogre Palace Guard. You're more relevant then.
Can't see the wizards. Good
Can't
try,
see
then.
them.
Bolt throwers are good, guys. Honest.
Look, you say that now, right? And they'll literally shoot and then waver one of these knight units as they try to go past him as well, wouldn't they?
Right.
Damn it!
Right.
It's going to
And,
be
turn.
like, oh yeah, because it can, but then anything can roll a double 6. So why not just have a goblin with a bow? It's just as equally relevant to roll a double 6.
That's true. Warbow and a goblin. Right.
All right, combats. All right, we'll see what these horsemen can do to these Palace Guard hindered. They do have sharpness though, so they will still be hit on 3s.
3s and 4s, isn't it? So we're talking about 6 damage.
Yeah, they're 1 thunderous, 1 crushing. So
it's almost like I wrote this.
7 and a 5 will not quite get them, so they will Iron Resolve down 1. All right, and here's the Soulbane.
A respectable 3.
Yep. Kind of what you want from a hero with 5 attacks.
Ooh.
Oh, they're unlucky on the elite roll, though. There you go.
Yeah, it does not convert any elites.
Still a good to hit roll though.
Look at the hit
10
roll with
damage.
Bane Chant.
So by another, he's running a 4s actually, so it's 9 damage total. That's
Oh
still,
yeah, because he's not. Yeah, because he's vicious rather than
Yeah, he's
the
just
crush
vicious.
one, isn't he? Yeah.
And snakes them.
No, no.
Ooh.
I don't think that's bad for them, though. I mean, there's nobody else in charge range, is there? I mean, the other knight unit, they're out of range. Is that right?
Well, now they're kind of stuck. So
But they're going to pick up the spearman probably for free.
Yeah, they will do. Do we not get much drain life on them?
yeah, he just did 1.
Did one.
Drain life.
Oh,
Just 1 drain life and then 11 wounds.
the way I see it, though, is now that Jeremy owes a double 1. That's the way I see it. Right?
Yeah, that was an actual double 1 roll as well. Because with Dread, he needed a 3 to kill, which means a double 1 means there's survived anyway. So that is a genuine. Ah well, I was unlucky. I think he's now owed 1 in return, but hey.
All right, so that gives Jeremy a little bit of breathing room, but I mean, you can get Nias in the flank over there and get rid of the horseman on the left side, but that's still leaving you far away from the scoring zone. You can hit back with your Palace Guard and get rid of the spears in the middle, but then you're looking at more spears and more horsemen that will certainly be coming at you next turn. You just try to get your cavalry in a position where turn 6 they can charge in and kill stuff in the middle and score some points. If you're Jeremy,
I think because what have you got at the moment? He's got 12 unit strength on the board, hasn't he? He's going to lose at least 1. No, 13 with Stamina, Chris, isn't it? 13 with Stamina, Chris.
14 with Nias.
Oh yeah, good point. 14 with Nias, and you're talking with the Spearman horns. They're 4 each, aren't they? 3 for each of the cavalry units, although it looks like he's going to be losing 7, isn't he, in this turn? Possibly
Probably.
losing 1 as well with the Mind Screech going down.
Yeah, to lightning.
But realistically, Elliot's going to pick up a Palace Guard Horde and a Cav Regiment. He should. Like, he's
Before the game's over,
and he should have done a bit better than that.
One clever thing Elliot did there with Mind Screech was turning it so if it gets wavered again, it can back up and
good point.
the Knight's charge.
Easily missed by some people as well. Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, because we were saying like, oh, how's he can't turn and move like that. And he's like, no, he was just checking to see if next turn when he moved, he could still get by. Yeah, it's a good observation.
Don't lie, Mike. He just forgot and then had to put him back.
Yeah, let's not give Elliot too much credit.
If not, I would just throw one wizard and try to get that 1 wound on him if I were Jeremy and just waver it again.
Yeah, but what would you do with the other wizard? Because there's not other. I mean, if you shoot the horseman, then they'll probably regen. But I suppose you always got the chance of a waiver, I guess. You were right in that respect. Yeah.
But now
Damn individuals being able to choose 2 targets. Sorry, Thomas, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, now I think the best chance is just do both on the horseman, like you said for the last turn. Because the Mind Screech is going to get away anyway. Or you just want to pick it up.
If he gets a couple of wounds on the Mind Screech, then he's looking at like a 6 on the roll, which is not too bad. Here comes Samarkris for the heal. Because we're looking at the unit strength that's going to be left, realistically. We're looking at maybe having 9, 10 on the side, 11 on the Basilian side, and then we're looking at realistically having 4, 7, 8, 9 on the Twilight King side, realistically.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be that much Basilia, to be honest. I'd expect maybe a Cav Regiment and a Palace Guard Horde, and then the 2 characters. And Elliot has the ability to zone him out a bit here, and that Wind Blast as well can really do good. He gets the Spearman right up there. And he keeps pushing into him. He keeps Wind Blasting him back. Like he can now Wind Blast them cavalry. Oh no, he can't Wind Blast the cavalry back because Summer's in the way. We can do it with Nias and push Nias a bit further back. He can do it with the Palace Guard in the wood, and then keep them back because they can't match out of the wood.
Yeah, that is it. You can control the Palace Guard. Where's the 12-inch line? Is there any way about getting an idea of where the 12-inch line is at this point in time?
I would need to move one of their markers to do it.
Yeah,
it might confuse them.
Like under the Spearman near the Palace Guard Horde, isn't it?
Yeah, like somewhere around here.
So it's basically just inside the hill, isn't it? Realistically, got to be in. So yeah, the Palace Guard Horde are going to struggle to get there in turn 6, but maybe turn 7.
Is it? Yeah. It's majority, isn't it, as well?
Majority.
And if the ball throw is in the way, you can buy another turn.
Stop selling that, you know.
Ball throw, chap. It's the future.
So these are lightning bolts going at, I think, the already wavered Mind Screech.
I have no idea what's going on here. This is just random dice at this point.
The Mind Screech has gone down now. It is worth pointing out that our mark on the chat points out that there's very little time on the side of Jeremy. If he goes into a turn 7, he's going to struggle.
Yeah.
Yep. So now in a combat, here's the Palace Guard Horde on the spears. It's a 10. Ooh, and only a 4.
I think still enough.
I think it's enough.
Still enough.
The brutal like... armor.
Pardon?
6, 12, say 20. Yeah, I'd done it anyway.
Okay. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, they're
It is 24, isn't it?
Yeah, because that's 24, yeah.
Plus the brutal from the Palace Guard.
Oh, yeah, 25.
I think, though, the Soulbane is going to have a good chance of taking him out by himself, although you'd probably still put the cavalry in, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you don't want to risk a fluff and not do any damage. And why not get the cavalry closer?
Yeah.
Yeah, because at the moment the only threat is the kind of cavalry in the central, well, left-hand side cavalry are the only threat, aren't they, at the moment? And maybe put the Soul Bane into them. Can he see him? No, he can't. So it's going to be... Can't tie him down. Can he tie him down with the Mind Screech? He can. Is that flank or front? Flank or front of the knights. So the knight, you have to click on the knights.
Oh, which knight? These knights? Or these?
No, the other ones. So it's a flank. Okay.
Yeah.
To take the Thunderous away, but it's not.
And now Ogres and Nias on the horseman over here.
Oof, 666.
Yeah. No inspiring to save them, so that's it for those horsemen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jeremy chose to heal those ogres, the ones in the woods there, and I think he took 3 wounds off of them. Do you think that's the right thing to do, given there's not really anything over there to threaten them? Like, would it have been better to try to heal the ones in the middle to make them survive anything other than a double charge?
If the knights are in range, no. If the knights aren't in range, then yes.
Yeah, no, they're not, but the spearmen are. And
Yeah.
I think he did that because I think he assumed they were going to die anyway between the Bane Chant, the Spearman, which you couldn't get out of range of, and the Drain Life. So why not? When maybe the Bolt Throw could do something useful, maybe, rather than just being useful standing in front.
Yeah.
And then the Lightning Bolt can make sure that that unit that was on 6 damage is now dead or wavered, and they don't have Headstrong. So I think it's the right move.
It's 8:30. I think they were asking the question. Yeah. Oh, sorry, we're in Northern Kings. No, it's 1:30. 1:30, definitely.
Yeah, you forgot to adjust for the time zone difference.
Exactly.
I think you're fine, actually. Elliot's only got 2 minutes left.
I don't know what it is with you, Tom, but he is on your team, right? You know, I'm just saying, right? If he had a camera to look at his face when he saw that, it would be funny. But up until that point,
I put a laughing face so he knows I'm joking now. All right. Fine. Usually I just let him suffer for a bit and work it out.
All right, so that brings us to the bottom of turn 5. So, hey, conveniently enough, that Soulbane is like right on top of the center point, so I can click on it and we can see the 12-inch line.
Can someone tell me how much time he has apart from me? Because you won't take me seriously anymore.
Yeah, 25 minutes.
what the hell is this?
Ooh, fancy. It's technology.
Ooh.
Could you not somebody just point out that you could just put like an individual in the middle and then just click on him? I mean, is that not just the easiest thing?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, carry on.
No, it's not actually easy because you'd be measuring from the base, wouldn't you?
I suppose the center point is precisely in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, and at least this way it's 12 inches off of that specific point.
Not so smart now, are you, John? No.
I was going to say, unless that's pixel perfect, I don't know what you're talking about, right? You know, you can spend like 3 minutes of his clock just going, "Oh, is this right?" I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. Now it's like, okay, so now I have 20 minutes to kill thinking about all the different scenarios for the last 2 turns.
We all done that in a tournament, then, haven't we? We all looked at the clock and just gone, "I'm good." My opponent is up the creek and gone, "I can take some time. Drink? Yeah, I could." Yeah.
I don't think I've ever experienced that.
I've done it a couple of times. I usually have like 20 minutes left. I think I've timed out once, and that wasn't really my fault. I thought I had 5 minutes. Turned out I didn't.
You timed out, didn't you, Thomas?
Yeah, it has happened.
Late in the tournament, though. Late on in the tournament. That was 6 games in 2 days. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the last game.
I still think there's a bit of gap there for the Mind Screech to win blast into Samochris and then just push that Knight Regiment's leader point off the hill. It's still worth it.
You are right, just to stop them. Actually, is there a leader point on the hill at all?
I think it is. He probably did it. That's probably what he meant to do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's close enough.
It's usually close enough in it, really. You've got the move to do it. If that's what you said, and yeah.
Yeah, you're true. If he's going after the Mind Screech with his Palace Guard, then he's wasting his time, isn't he? Because he's not getting in the 12-inch bracket.
Yeah.
So I've timed out as well in tournaments. I timed out against Dan King, but it was like the 3rd tournament I've ever taken place in. And the worst thing is I had like an undead worm in the rear of one of his units, but I timed out.
Oh,
bummer.
That was so frustrating. It was looking good up until that point, maybe.
I feel like I must have timed out at least once, but I can't remember a specific game where I did. I'm usually down to like single-digit minutes on the clock by the time the game is over, or maybe like 12 or 13 minutes or something like that. So usually not a ton of time left, but I don't think I actually time out a lot.
Have you ever felt clock pressure? Have you ever been in that position where you're going, right, I need to take my turn and then literally roll my dice really quickly just to make sure that I get through?
Yeah, no, I've definitely had that before. I usually look over and notice at like, turn 4 that I'm like, oh shit, I burned most of my clock in the first 3 turns. I'd better pick up the pace, and then I just kind of start playing fast for the last couple of turns. Maybe win, maybe lose, who knows, whatever.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
You spent all your time thinking. Now it's time to see if any of your stuff works or not. Thinking more about it isn't going to help.
At least if I finish, that's I can feel that I've done all I can do.
Right.
So how would it look like if Elliot charged the Knight unit in front with his Mind Screech? That effectively block both?
Would they be within 12 inches? Is a very good count. Would they be able to overrun? I'm not sure.
my issue is it means that the Ogre Palace guy can then charge you and get out of the woods for free.
It's a very good point. Yeah.
True.
I don't know if he's given enough angle that it's worth. I think you can actually. Yeah, just I'd win blast the Ogre Palace guard, put him in further back. Yeah, Jeremy hasn't covered that properly. All you need to do is put a little bit more of an angle with that Naeus to stop that from running.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's the move.
Since we now have these lovely straight lines coming off the unit, you can see that.
I love these straight lines. They're amazing.
And
such
now
an improvement.
The ball thrower walks forward and stands in the way.
It's right in Nias's way.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's nimble, but
Right.
If it could march, yeah.
I almost want to create in real life, just like one of these big templates for each individual like unit size that you can just like kind of drop on them and just go, right, there you go. There's 24 inches out. And these are all the different angles. I don't have to worry about anything. But many people get annoyed when their models get knocked over by this huge mat. But, it'll be fun in its own way.
it's a very good move there by Elliot. Well, I say it's a very good move, and that means the Mind Screech can be flanked, so I don't like it. But
you just said that was a terrible move. I mean, you know.
Well, the good move was putting the Soulbane in as well. The bad move was doing it in the first place.
I still don't see how this is still not just a bad. Anyway, carry on, crack on.
I liked my idea. My idea was fiendish and annoying.
See, what you haven't realised is that bolt thrower is going to put 2 wounds onto that Palace Guard unit and waver it, and that's the Fury one. So,
That's because
Elliot's
doing it at this point. That bolt thrower is going to kill it outright and make me look like a right idiot.
The Silver Breeze can help as well, I guess.
Yeah,
Silver Breeze could have helped. They could have
done
put.
anything yet, so why not?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
They've been completely useless so far.
We'll see if he remembers that he has them. They may have just blended into the field there. He's forgotten about them. Oh, no, there they go.
I think you might find them by accident by the looks of how he's moved them. But.
Yeah. It's called the Soulbane maneuver, isn't it? I mean, what is he on? Turn 5, isn't he?
Yeah.
Elliot, you can't do that. You haven't got Pathfinder. There you go. Get back in the woods.
Because what's the strength at the moment in the 12? So he's got, at the moment, he's rocking 7, possibly 8 with the cavalry getting in. So if Jeremy can get 3 units in, then he's going to be on 9.
I think that Mind Screech is worth 1 as well, so doesn't it make it 8?
Yeah.
And then
Mind Screech is going to die.
Sure. The Mind Screech should die.
I'd have been blasted and sent the Soulbane in on its own. I think that's probably a better move.
Yeah, I suppose the thing is by putting the Soulbane and the Mind Screech in, is it he can't get the cavalry unit in, can he? Because they're in the front. Are they in the front of the Mind Screech at the moment?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean, the Palace Guard will do the job.
Huh? Yeah, but it just means that the cavalry can't move, so they can't get within 12.
Yep.
So they're actually limited in what they can do.
It gets Bane Chant on his tall spears, fighting the Palace Guard horde that's already wounded. And now he's probably going to drain life the knights there that are in combat with the
100%.
Soulbane and the Screech.
Yeah.
3 hits, looking for 4s.
The Screech.
Yeah.
Drain lives would be crap, on it.
Yeah.
It's, drain life is rubbish. It should take
Yeah.
20 or more. It's just stupid.
Only 1, looks like.
Boop. But it sticks around because it's in combat there.
Yeah, he can't just Iron Resolve that away yet.
Yeah.
And here comes the Bolt Thrower for the big old waver.
Oh, look
Go
at that.
Go on. Never mind.
3 hits. And they're piercing 2.
Yeah, that's 2.
All right,
Go
so
on,
2
do it.
wounds.
Go on, do it though. Go on.
It's going to be a waiver, 100%.
Go on.
11, done.
Go on, do it. Do it. Do it, you coward.
I think that is his last shooting.
He's got a silver breeze.
Oh, he does have the Silver Breeze, yeah.
To shoot at who?
They're out of range. Maybe we can shoot the horseman, though, if he remembers to do that.
What's he doing with this? Oh, right, okay.
Trying to figure out if they're in cover.
Bart points out that he could take the knights into the Soulbane. If the knights kill the Soulbane in combat, they're doing well because there's no Thunderous, is there? So they're going to be
No, that's all.
3s and 5s.
He put a Soulbane into my regiment of knights and killed it. He charged in, he did 2 damage, then he did 5 damage and killed them. I'm like,
Yeah, but they're only kingdoms of men. They're wusses, let's be honest, right? They're not elite paladin knights.
yeah. One nerve more, and that's about it for differences.
And
18
whoa.
hits. 18 hits with elite.
Yeah,
So that is certainly enough.
he'd have had to be very, very unlucky there.
Yeah. All right, so that takes off the Palace Guard. Ogre Palace Guard horde in the middle. And the tall spears will now pivot to kind of face everything Jeremy has left. And now on to the knights.
He literally did no damage with the Mind Screech. Love it.
I think that's probably 2 from the Soulbane.
Yeah.
And the 7 won't get them, so they'll resolve that down to 1.
Wasn't there one there from? Oh yeah, I guess Aegis Fragment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's going to be
Pocket while you can.
It's going to be Jeremy's turn. 6. Running down his clock, starting at 8 minutes and about 20 seconds here for his turn 6.
Do everything on fast speed. Go.
Yeah. So he's turned to countercharge the Soulbane with the Knights, it looks like.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? The Ogre Palace Guard will do with the Mind Screech and the flank, so there's no reason not to.
Yeah. Even hindered, they're going to do it, aren't they?
Yeah.
It just means that unit of Knights in the back is not going to be scoring unless there is a turn 7.
Yeah. And Naeus can't get rid of the bolt thrower, so the bolt thrower will live.
Although looking at the moment, so at the moment there is 7 in the 12-inch area, isn't there? Is that right? If he puts both Naeus, if he can get Naeus in range and Samacris into the 12-inch bubble, and he kills the Mind Screech, he's on 8.
It is.
Oh, there's a sorry. There is a Knight unit down at the bottom, isn't there? The Silver Breeze. So it'll be a draw.
Figure you try to lightning bolt the Silver Breeze to death with those 2 wizards.
Yeah, it's a good choice.
Even though they're in cover, but it's a better choice.
What I'm trying to say here is that if Elliot fecks it up, right? After all this.
To be fair, that it was that double 1 roll on the Palace Guard. Like there should be an extra spear horde on the table, and those knights should be flailing ineffectually against him at the moment. So he's a bit unlucky. True. Well, he's very unlucky. Still close, and Naeus is still out of. Naeus is well out.
Yeah. A tighter turn would have put him in the right place.
Yeah.
He's not.
So there he goes, taking a tighter turn then. Whatever Jeremy's going to do with him, he should definitely do it quick. He needs to, he needs to just miss those ogres, basically.
See, this is the worst thing about running out of time as well, isn't it? Is that you go, well, I'm running out of time, but then if it's a turn 7, I don't have enough time either, do I? Right. There you go. He's in.
That will put him in. That's important.
But you can't do that. It's still landing on the ogres at that point in time. But yeah. That's why we have the lines, man. Come on.
Right. Now, what? You fly Samacris in there to stand in front of some knights or some spears?
It's make or break, isn't it? You go block them up.
Come get me. Yeah.
I suppose this is the advantage of going second, isn't it, for Elliot?
Yeah, I feel like Dominate's one of those scenarios where going second is not really that bad.
No, especially with Windblast.
Yeah.
Just you to get a choice, and this is what I'm doing, is great. I mean, he won't be able to do it because he's used his Windblast stuff as chaff.
Right.
But to be fair, the Windblast has been more effective than the Lightning Bolt has. So I guess that's a win overall, really.
This is lightning, probably. Yep, going after the Silver Breeze with lightning.
$11 wavered, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, I mean, it's better than dead.
True. I'll take that. That's a draw guaranteed, isn't it?
Here comes our combats. That'll take care of the Mind Screech. And they will walk forward 3. I guess now he doesn't have to worry about getting flank charged by some Silver Breeze or something like that.
Kind of all over his other units there. I wish you'd clean that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now there's going to be the Knights beating up on the Soulbane. Yeah, that's not going to get him. You lose all your thunder. Makes it hard to do anything.
It does mean, though, is that you have to move the Soulbane out of the way to get the Knights with the spears, wouldn't he? But does he need to do it? Probably not.
So that will bring us into the bottom of turn 6 for Elliot's turn, with 14 minutes still on the clock. Jeremy still has 3.5 minutes left. If we go to a turn 7, he can do a couple of quick things. But all in all, I think he only spent like 5 minutes doing that turn, which I think is pretty good, given as much as he got done.
What Elliot's got to avoid is putting himself in a position where a turn 7 will make a difference. He's got to really.
Yeah, I agree. So what's his safest play then here to keep it in a win, no matter what happens at turn 7?
Probably double charge the Paladin Knight Regiment. What's he doing?
That's not the way that works, unless of course he's manoeuvring him into the front, because at the moment he's in the flank, isn't he?
Yeah.
But I think if he withdraws 1 inch and then turn 90 degrees, he might be able to get in the front.
Maybe.
Yeah. I can't tell. I didn't see the angle. And of course, those Palace guards should be flush with the Knight Regiment, so there should be more of an angle on that as well.
That's very true. Yeah. Yeah, with a sword, with a drain life and a bane chant, I could see that knight unit going down. Samarkis is probably going to survive despite being hit by a cavalry unit in the front. She's like 15 flat.
Yep.
Yeah, she's ridiculously hard to kill for no apparent reason.
So where will he put his drain life?
In the knights, 100%.
Yeah,
I'd say the knights.
Right up next to the knights to limit the amount of stuff that can come back in at the spearmen. You don't want those units charging the spearmen.
Yeah, there's kind of a potentially bad situation here as well. If Jeremy gets a turn 7 and these Palace Guard kill the Soulbane, they can overrun into the spears and hit them.
Even without it, they can disengage and then possibly get a frontal charge.
And, maybe pivot into them. Yeah.
Because of the way the building is at the moment, the spearmen can't back off. So they're kind of a horrible catch-22.
Yeah.
So you
The Soulbane can waver the Palace Guard.
no, they've got Fury, so they'd have to charge back into him. It's true, and then, despite the fact the way they place them, in actual fact, if it does waver, they'll get the Fury, get the charge back in the Soul, and if they do kill him, they would then get a flank charge onto the Spearmen if they're pretty much where they are at this point in time.
Looks like he's taking a pot shot at Nias and not going to hit.
It'd be more use of shaft, guys.
And here comes a drain life into the Knights, like we expected. That time he got 6.
Drain life on.
Finally does 3, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Drain life 9 against defense 5. Yeah. And here comes the Bane Chant roll. He's what, 1 for 3 on Bane Chants?
Yeah, it's not going well.
Yeah.
I'd be tempted there. I'd have been tempted with putting the Bane Chant onto the Knights, but it doesn't matter now.
That's good. Yep, and get off the board.
Didn't need it. Bosh.
Absolute bitch.
Boom. Bosh. Do drills.
Oh, right. He gave them elite. I was about to say, why did he do elite rolls on them? They're not elves. Right. Gave them the item.
They are now.
They are now. And here's the Soulbane. Punch in the ogres. And rolls a 12.
Boom!
Roll again.
No, they're alive.
Not nice.
Oh, they are. They're wavered. Yeah, good point. Well, no, he's got Dread.
Fury.
Yes, he does. He's forgot. Didn't
He
surprise
rolled
me.
again and got 7. Yeah.
Nah. Ooh, 12. There we go. That's that safe.
And an 11. Some hot nerve rolls here. And the bottom of turn 6 from Elliot. But now he has to roll for turn 7 because he is on the bottom of the turn.
It does make a difference on where he puts those spearmen, because I think you've got a Naeus flank, haven't you? You've got a Naeus flank and you've got a Knight flank at the moment. No, you can't, because if you put it level with the Soulbane.
That does the job.
Looks like it, yeah.
All right.
And if that Soulbane had been a bit closer, he couldn't then multi-charge the Spearman, which I don't think he'll do.
It's a turn 7.
As a 5, so they're going to turn 7. That certainly gives Jeremy another chance here.
Jeremy is getting all the chances here, and Elliot's not getting them, is he? He's not getting them.
So the minute, if he does kill the Spearman, will he kill the Spearman with what he's got?
I don't think those knights are all the way on the hill, so I don't think they'll get an extra Thunders. But they don't need it. They're Thunders 2 in their hill, so he's already.
They lose the Thunderous. They lose the Thunderous. So the knights are going to be hitting on 4s with no Thunderous. And it's going to be on 3s and 2s, though, with the Palace Guard, which could make a huge difference.
Yeah, I don't think they quite do it. They need an ace in there. Thankfully, thankfully for us, there's not enough room.
Ha ha ha. But the thing is, sorry.
Why did those knights lose their Thunderous? The remaining Paladin knights?
Spears.
Oh, the Spears, of course. Phalanx.
He is doing the work.
Right.
This is a good move. So at the moment, if he can kill that Spearman Horde, he's going to be on 7 in the 12-inch area, whereas Elliot's going to have 3, 4.
There's more lightning at the Silver Breeze.
How much time are we on left, actually? Because that's saying 3 minutes in the bottom corner.
I think they paused it. They paused it. They may have forgotten to restart it, but he's going pretty fast. I think he'll be done before 3 minutes is over.
He's running it.
We hope.
They probably paused it to roll for turn 7.
No, he's hitting on 3s. Why is he hitting on 3s? He's hitting on 4s. Oh, no, they're sharpness. Sharpness.
Wow.
Massive.
All right. And they don't have to go anywhere. They're already scoring. Walking forward anyway. Yeah. Then you just need Nias to not die.
Yeah, nice hit by the Knights plus a Bane Chant and then drain life and the Soul Bane into the other unit, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was really lucky that he shouldn't have broken them.
Yeah. That was a big turn 7 swing.
Mm.
But then he snaked, I believe he just snaked the Horseman.
Ah.
And now the clock is running again for Elliot, but Jeremy, that was less than 3 minutes for Jeremy, I'm pretty sure, so I don't think there's an issue there. And Elliot has 8 minutes and not really that much else to do other than try to kill the ogres with the Soul Bane and Drain Life, probably.
Yeah, and try and pick him Naos. If you can do both of them, it'll bring it back to a draw.
Yeah, you probably want to Bane Chant the Knights so they get back their Prussian 2.
Yeah.
They lost to Thunderous.
He's asking a lot, though. He's asking a lot.
Yep. This has been a big shift here in the last couple turns of this game, back towards Jeremy. And there's a Bane Chant. Finally. Good time for it. Good clutch time for it.
Well, a bit late for that, actually.
And actually gets 4 Drain Life for the first time this game. I think he's gotten more than 3.
There you go.
It's pretty big. Puts the Palace Guard up to 7.
He's going to need it, though. He's going to need it.
He is. And Soul Bane only has 5 attacks.
Will work as well.
Yep, hopefully he remembers Dread.
Well, he did, because it screwed him out of wavering the Palace Guard and stopping that from happening.
Drum roll, please.
Why is he rolling nerve if the Soul Bane charged?
I think he forgot again. It's fine. Elite didn't work.
9 damage, isn't it? 9, that's not enough.
Cancel the 10 with Brutal. No.
That's 16.
I'll get him.
No, he's on 3's the damage, so that's 9 damage. Yeah. So plus the 7, 16. Is that enough?
What with the soul bait into the ogre palace guard?
I think he forgot that he was there.
Say
Did I say
Soulbane. Say so. Well, in actual fact, we can't, can we? The entire point
No.
of this was that we stay neutral.
Oh, did Naas already have a damage?
He had 1 on him. Yeah.
Oh, then Naas dies then, right? Yeah.
He did already have a damage, yeah.
Why?
It's probably because of the damage counter on the soul bane.
Yeah, he probably doesn't see it.
Let's give it maybe 3 or 4 minutes. There we go. Oh, hang on. There's a Soulbane still alive. Oh, hang on.
His clock is technically still running.
Yeah.
Oh, he's moved it. He's moved it.
Wait a second.
Jeremy's in. Is he out again?
Yeah, no, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
We're just wondering if Elliot has just noticed that he forgot to do his Soulbane on your Ogre Palace guard.
Oh, he just put it there for dread, but he didn't charge because he wanted to take the nerve roll from shooting.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
What?
Really?
What?
All right.
He's fired. Tom, get him out. Oh, hang on.
That makes no sense. There's no reason to do that.
Hold on one second.
Now he's
Yeah,
doing
hold
the
on.
combat.
Hey,
So,
what's
I
up?
mean,
Back out. Reverse.
Oh my god, Elliot.
Okay, hold on. We're I'm gonna leave. We're gonna go back and wrap things up
Do it.
because hold on. I'll
Yeah.
be right back.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on one second, Elliot. Where am I here?
Well, I can't have you.
I got you. Hold on.
What's he doing? Nice.
We will let them.
yeah.
We will let them sort that out.
He's off the team. Elliot is definitely off the team.
Thomas, you're free, aren't you? You're far enough north in Norway to be
Yeah,
in
you're-
the Northern
you're-
Kings, aren't you?
Far more of a Northern
Yeah.
King than Elliot is.
So this is, I guess, one of the big flaws of UB, that it's easily to miss individuals.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
big wound markers is one of the things, isn't it? You just go, it's taken over my 20 mil base, and I've disappeared. What is it like? Steve Hildrew doesn't like using tokens when it comes to putting like damage on. I suppose it's the same thing in UB.
Oh, they're going to it. They're doing it.
All right.
Yep, they put the Iron Resolve thing back on. Definitely.
Nobody's got a lead, and still
Scotland.
misses on 3s. Oh no.
1 damage.
Yeah, I saw that go on.
Nah, it's nothing. It's no damage. He's crushed 1.
Yeah, he's only crushed 1, so
Oh,
it does.
yeah.
So he does nothing, and there's no nerve check.
Oh, good God.
Oh,
So we redid it, which obviously that was his intention to do was to charge,
Yeah, we got it.
but no damage.
Yeah.
Don't allow Elliot back into this room. Just don't. Just like, keep him in the green room as long as you can.
Let him think about what he's done. All right. So there
Hold
we
on,
go. Then.
He's calling me again. Hold on
Okay.
our Facebook thing.
He just doesn't want to admit his defeat.
Whoops.
It's like, have I forgotten anything else?
Yeah, that's it. Desperate ploy.
Let me see if he has the link to the come back in.
Oh yeah, there you
Got
go.
here in the first place. Here we go.
Well, that was a bit shambolic. But I forgot combat.
You don't want to see
Was
the video back. I'll tell you that now.
It was only an unbelievably key combat that could have pulled me back from a draw.
So hi guys.
Hey, hello.
Thanks for letting us watch that. That was definitely a very exciting game. Like for a good chunk of the game there, it looked like Elliot was firmly in control. But then
I'm not
in the
gonna
last
lie,
two turns.
I was sure I'd won it.
yeah, no, in the last 2 turns, like that was a huge shift.
That was a huge
watching,
double one.
Yeah, watching here, we were like that. Yeah, the double winning the Ogre Palace guard in the middle giving them an opportunity to get rid of one of your tall spear hordes seemed like a really huge shift to us.
It was a 7-unit strength shift, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty huge.
I was celebrating turn 4. I was celebrating. I'm going, that's Northern King win number 1, right? And it's like it went on that way.
I played a little sloppy in the beginning. One thing I've noticed, and I'm going to start using the clock in all my UB games, is 4 months of playing UB untimed. Is my mind is so used to 4.5-hour games where you can check everything that the muscle memory of making quick decisions is not there. So I definitely am going to start trying to play time with, get more used to it. But he had me in a really rough position, and thankfully, the double ones put me in a position to make it a game. I mean, if those double ones don't happen, he crushes me pretty easily. So enough. And then I needed the turn 7. And then got it, and was able to get that unit strength in the middle of the board.
Like you say, you're playing Alex Kuss too much. Is that what it is? You just end up playing 8-hour games, right? 4 hours each.
I'm naturally a slow player, and UB has only reinforced that bad habit. So that is going to be something I'm going to have to rectify before playing live.
No, I was very happy with our play. I was happy with using Windblast. I got some really good use out of that. It was a shame that my shooting for the first 2 or 3 turns just did nothing at all. I know it was always going to be tricky with that much iron resolve and heal and stuff around, but there was a few really quite impressive whiffs that would have been helpful. The assassin didn't do a whole lot in the end. Held lightning bolts up for a while, but yeah, even in cover, getting that many hits on the assassin was hard going. But,
I had the first round of shooting into the assassin was above average for sure. That helped me get an edge on that. Yeah, the wind blast is just really. I had a couple of movements where if I had pivoted a little bit more to the left or a little bit more to right, some minuscule, I could have protected against the wind blast, and then I could have had Nias 1 turn further or 1 turn quicker to threaten the Abyssal Horseman on the left, but I couldn't move at the double because I had just a hint of him was in the forest. So I had to, take 1 extra turn to pivot. And then I probably, I did not use the dragon very well. I was thinking where, the dragon would probably grind against those horsemen, but with the Soulbane and then the other guys in the flank. Not good, but I was just trying to make Elliot keep as much points and as much unit strength just delayed while I could try to clean up the other side was sort of the original idea.
Yeah, weirdly, that was my exact same plan as well on your side.
on the other side, yeah.
Delay it for as long as possible. And I say I was quite happy with how long I held it back. Only problem is, eventually it will get through, and there's a lot of very killer units there that will wipe my stuff in one go, as it turns out.
Yeah, you did manage to keep both of his Paladin Knight regiments out of the game until turn 5, basically, I think. Which we thought was pretty impressive.
And even then, if I almost managed to keep... If I hadn't stopped the double charge on the spears at the end, that would have been very nice, but... couldn't quite do it. I just ran out of units eventually.
All right. Any other questions? Anything you guys remember that came up during the game that we wanted to ask them?
Yeah, Elliot, you do remember the units that are in your list, right?
No, not at all.
No.
I will point out that this is a very new army for me. And
He's been on the Countercharge podcast talking about how much he loves the chrome-bound Wizardy Lady and then the Soulbane, and forgets about both of them at key points.
Yeah. Oh no, well, I moved the Cronebound and then put her back, and then I come back to that later and then totally forgot she was there. It was like Jeremy says, playing on the clock and then with everybody watching is very, very different to playing UB or even playing on tabletops normally. It's you want to be quick for the clock. You also want to be quick for people watching you.
Right.
And it's so easy to forget things.
You hit that snowball where you're like, oh, I got to go faster. Oh, I got to move this. And the next thing you know, you're so nervous is not, but you're so discombobulated that and it's like, I have 4 choices. A is the best. B is the second best. C, so whatever I do, don't pick D. And then you end up picking D after you spend all this time, just because of that extra level of stress.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks so much, guys. Oh, do you have anything?
I was going to ask, Steve Hildreth asked it, are bolt throwers any good?
They are for their points, but they did all squarely miss for 3 turns, hitting on 4s with elite. is quite impressive when it should be hitting every turn. But it failed.
Yeah, I definitely, that was, Elliot played really, really well and had me dead to rights. It's really his shooting was a little subpar, plus those key nerve rolls. And then, when you play, good players, sometimes it just comes down to those. Luckily, I was able to get back into the game, but he had me, pretty rough. First 2/3 of the game, I was in trouble.
But anyway, thank you. That was a really good game, was that? I really enjoyed it.
Thanks, Elliot. Really great game.
Yeah. And
so
thanks,
that meme you
Dash
made,
and Elliot, for
Elliot,
organising this.
really
Sorry,
good for this game.
Woo!
What was that,
Sorry?
Thomas?
Oh yeah, the meme you made, Elliot. It's really fitting for this game.
Better to be lucky than good, yeah. Yeah, I made that one after playing John.
And I mean, it's a
John
dice
Fox.
game. Sometimes, especially when you get down, you just got to roll the dice and be like, okay, do the best you can and try to get back in the game if you can.
Yeah, but see, you've got to put yourself in the right position as well. That if dice do spike, you can capitalize on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, so if you guys could count up,
we'll get you
your Northern Kings score and send those to our main chat so everybody can keep up on that. But that is going to be 1 win for Tabletop Titans here in match number 1 coming up in just a little while. We have match number 2, which is going to be Mark Taylor versus Adam Padley. That is coming up at 9:30 p.m.
I'll just let you know that Adam was in the pub not long ago, according to his Facebook. So that's going to go well.
Great.
And it's like, I should be talking like smack, right? But Ellie and we're just too nice. I really can't do it. I mean, it was a lovely game. It
was a really fun game, yeah.
A fine fellow. I feel really privileged, blessed to have.
He says that, but as soon as it was just us two, we were just being foul with each other.
I'll start doing like.
When we come off it, we're going to rip into Elliot. It's fine,
All right, so next match, if it starts on schedule, should be starting in about 45 minutes. You can find the link to it on our Facebook posts or on the Dash 28 article, or just by checking out our YouTube channel to find it. I would like to thank Jeremy and Elliot one more time for letting us watch their game, and to both clubs for letting us put on this challenge between them. I'd also like to thank Tom, John, and Thomas for hanging out with me during this game and talking through all the details as it unfolded in front of us. And lastly, I'd like to thank everybody at home for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. And we will see you next time in about 45 minutes for match number 2 of the Historic International Club Challenge. Until next time, I'm Mike Atkins saying stay safe out there. And we'll see you next time on Dash 28 Live.
Keep countercharging.
And sure, you can keep countercharging too, if you want.